Every great medieval city had a center, and more often than not, it was the church. Today I'm starting from the ground up in Foundation to build a city where everything flows outward from that sacred heart. So for this design to work, we needed a pretty flat map, and I'm going to add the map seed also in the description if you want to try it out yourself. But I think pretty much this is going to be the starting location. This is very central on the map. We've got a nice big flat surface. We've got a lot of open space around this area, and we're relatively close to this lake, so also if we want to do the fishing. But I'm going to go ahead and purchase this territory, and after I place the village center, I think I'm going to go ahead and place it maybe more towards here, and let's just place it down over there like so. And then immediately I'm going to purchase myself another territory. So we start with the two free territories, and I'm going to either go for this one or this one. I don't think it really matters which one I go for first, but yeah, you know what, I think I'm going to go for this one. Let's just do that. I'm going to purchase that, and what I want to do is I want to mark out a space where I'm going to have the church. So I'm going to make a forbidden area, and I think what I want to do is I want to make it kind of square. I'm going to have a forbidden area that's going to be like a little bit more of a square shape. I want to also make it big enough because this church will have to give service to the whole city, so it's going to be a pretty big church. So let's just maybe do it like so. And what I intend to do is I intend to do like a pathway going straight down, a big open space that's going to go down like here, like so, and then we're going to do it from every side. We're going to have the same open space, but I'm not going to make it a forbidden zone, otherwise the people can't move around there. But I'm going to maybe corner it off with fences, because now we can easily slot in the gates into the fences, so it's going to make it easier to do that. So let's just go ahead and add our wood cutting, our lumber camps. We're going to have to place it maybe, I'm going to maybe go ahead and place it over here at the bottom. The lumber camp, we need the builder's workshop. That's something we need first actually. So let's just put that down over there, and we're going to have our 3 workers. I'm going to also assign maybe just 2 at the gathering huts. We've got plenty of berries nearby. There we go. And we're going to have the woodcutters as the main priority, of course. It is a little distance away, but I think I'm going to just leave it like this for now. And we can just color in all of this territory. We can do this woodcutting all around. I can just go ahead and clear out all of this forest over here. And then I think for our residential buildings, we're going to start by maybe making a square over here. So let's just do this. I'll color it in like so. That's got another 2 extra villagers. So let's just go ahead and assign 2 foragers from here. We can also get ourselves a stone cutter camp. Unfortunately, yeah, the stones are very far from us, so I'm gonna maybe place it just like here for now. Just want to see where's the forbidden zone. See, this is kind of sucky, but I'm gonna keep it like this. Do it like that. Just want to make sure that I'm out of the forbidden zone. Yeah, that's good. So we can leave it like that. And we can assign 3 woodcutters. Then I also need to place myself a well. And the well's going to come up right over here. As I open up more territory, I'm going to obviously move a few things around. But for now, we're going to just keep it like this. I'm going to put it on fast forward. And we can purchase a few things. So the first thing we need obviously is the storage. Fishing is not going to be needed for now. We can unlock the village fence. And gonna definitely have to unlock the monastery, because we have to get clergy splendor in order to get to the modest church. So I'm gonna focus a lot on the clergy specifically. So we'll mainly focus on the clergy and the labor splendor to get both of those up. So right now I'm setting up myself a sawmill over here, and then I also need to start setting up the village markets. We're only going to place the one now, which is going to sell the berries for the people. I'm probably going to move all of this, I think, very soon. But let's just go ahead and place one market stall over here. I'm going to kind of like place it over there and have a little tent. So normally I'm going to just do it the same like I always do. Easier for me to remember everything. But we use the red market specifically for food. And then for the blue, we use it for any goods that the people use. So clothing and any other stuff. Physical things that they're not eating. And then the green market tent is for the luxury items. But let's just place that over there. And now we're going to also need to look for a location for the storage. So the granary, we're going to move all of this eventually. So I think just to make things a little bit easier for now, I'm going to place the granary over here. Yeah, let's just maybe go ahead and place it over here like so. And then we can also go ahead and place our warehouse right next to it. I suppose it would be easier to maybe have the warehouse on this side. So we've got the stone here at the top. Okay, so yeah, let's just use this as the middle point. I'm going to just place it right over there like so. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase another territory, and we're going to go for this one. And yeah, you see, as soon as I've got my manor placed, we're going to automatically get another 100 coin. So that does make it a little bit easier. And I'm going to just go ahead and place my great hall at a random location. We will move it around on a later stage. But for now, let's just go ahead and place it not too far from where the village is currently. So we need a couple of things. We need the main structure, which is this one. I'm not going to bother too much in changing the size of it, not yet. And we can make a little entry, and we also need this arrow to create like the visitors location, and that's pretty much all we need. And once we've got this placed, then that's pretty much going to be our manor for now. We will add the other stuff with the new tools that they've given us after the last update. It makes it a lot easier to add onto the manor and to move everything around. So I'm not too stressed about where I'm going to place this. So let's just go ahead and say apply to all. Go. All that. We've got our storage facilities that's currently busy being built. They're going to also be moved on a later stage. Now the idea is I want to keep this space open over here, as I've mentioned before. So I want to keep it basically as it is now, this space, about the size of this block in its width. I'm going to keep this space open, and we're going to use it to do decorations, fountains. We're going to have our markets and the wells, trees, just general things. It's going to be like a pathway, and we're going to have it in 4 different directions. I think it's going to look really cool once we get to the final product. So the modest church is a complete different structure, like where you can normally, like with the manor, you can upgrade the parts, or with the monastery you can get the parts to upgrade specific pieces with the new tools that we've got. But the modest church is completely different to the rustic church. So I cannot build, let's say for example, the rustic church here in the middle. Otherwise I'm going to have to deconstruct everything completely again. So I'm going to temporarily, I'm going to have a smaller church somewhere here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe just place it right next to the manor for now, just to have something. We're going to place it over there. We can have a small entrance point, something that doesn't require a lot of resources, like that one. We do need a bell tower as well. And we can do it just like that. And I think what we can do is we can, the nave, we can increase in size a little bit. So there we can cater at least for 30 people. We've got currently 70 people in the town now. I'm going to just do it like that. It's not going to cost me a lot of resources to build this structure. but at least it will supply them the service need. So we're going to place it over there. And now we can add some more residential area. And I'm going to keep that space open as I've mentioned. So I'm going to just color in this territory all around. And let's just bring it up like so. As I've said, we are going to move the manor and the church. We're going to move it on a later stage. But I do need that extra residential space just for now. Yeah, I think I'm going to just go with this for now. We'll color more in as we go and progress with our town. So you can see the happiness has gone up a little bit. We've got now 53% happiness. We still are lacking the refined food and then the service, of course. So for the refined food, we're going to definitely go for the hunting. That's the easiest one to go for. We've got plenty of forest around us, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's just to get that initial coin. You have to, for a couple of times, you've got to raise levies in your town in order to just basically meet the needs of everything and everyone. But it's not that big of a deal. We lose a little bit of happiness, but it accumulates. The happiness lifts up again very quickly. So I've got my money back from the manor now. I'm back at 260 gold coins, and I'm thinking I want to maybe just open up another territory, because as I've said, I can impose the levies to just get that money. Not really that big of a deal. You just get like a happiness dip for a while and then you're back to normal again. So I was thinking I definitely want to use this territory or open this one as a third slot, because it's a pretty massive one. I know we don't use this big body of water, but we can create a couple of fishing spots, and in length this is a pretty big slot. So this is going to help me tremendously. And I'm thinking I'm going to move my gathering hut also here down to the south. We do have our wood cutting and all of that. I'm probably going to move that on a later stage. But for now, I think this is definitely going to be my best bet, is to just open up the slot over here. So let's do that. Opening up that territory. And now we can color in the residential territory. We can color it in a little bit further. I'm going to bring it down like so, just to bring it pretty much in line with the other one. Try and keep it all the same width. Do it like that. Okay, when you look at it now, it's not going to make that much sense what I'm doing, but I promise you it's going to really look good at the end of the day. I am thinking of enlarging this area a little bit more for the church, but we'll first have to open up more territory, and it's going to be probably this one over here. Let's see here. So yeah, I think this is going to be the one that I'm going to open up next. We've got a lot of forest here at the back, so this will all be part of our hunting grounds temporarily. And what we can do now, we can also move our gathering hut. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and do that. We can move the gathering hut down here to the south. Yeah, let's just maybe place it over there like so. And for the wood cutting, we can now color in all of this territory. Make that block a little bit bigger. I'm going to just go ahead and color all of this in. We can take this away now. Yeah, not going to let them chop there. So let's just do it like so. I can go for all the forest that's very close by. And then I suppose we do need a forester as well. I think we can place our forester also here at the bottom. We'll just go for one for now. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We can unlock a few extra things over here. So the first thing we need to unlock, I do believe, is the refined meat, because we can trade that. If we do the butchering, we can trade that eventually, and we can get some really good gold for that. And we are producing planks which we can trade with. So I just want to see, we need 20 labor influence to open up the first trade route, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go here quickly. So, oh, 15. Okay, I thought it was 20, but we need 15. So double than what we have now. Then we can open up that trade route, and then we can also use the planks to open up the trade route to Northbury. Let's just see what's happening here. Okay, they're bringing us some tools. And we've got a couple of visitors over here. Oh, the elders. Oh, these are the guys that brought tools to me. And now they're just hanging around here. Okay. So we've got 3 idle workers, so I'm thinking of just maybe adding another worker here to the gathering hut. And seeing that we now open up the territory here at the bottom, I suppose we can start doing our fishing. So let's just go ahead and add a fishing hut here at the bottom. Maybe more towards the side, yeah. There we go. Got our forester now, so I'm gonna pretty much just color in the same area as what we're chopping at. Good luck so. Yeah. Right, and there's a lot happening over here. Church of Faith. Okay, we're getting clergy influence there. I'm going to just say continue on my own. The church is done. So we can assign a village priest, so that's going to contribute towards our service. And then we're going to have 80% happiness. So then we still just need to supply the refined food. And in order to do that, we need to impose the levy, because we're not going to get any money from anything else at the moment until we open up those trade routes. So let's just see. Mandate. Plus a levy. It has to be done. Okay, so if we do this, we're going to get a 30% drop in happiness. And okay, so I'm going to first wait until my happiness goes up to 80% for the services, and then once it's there, then we can impose the levy, and then I can start building my butchery and hunting camps. So let's just see here, the hunting grounds. Yeah, you see, so we've got a lot of hunting spots on this side. Plenty to go around. And actually also on this side, I want to see, where does my territory end? Right over there. Right over here. Okay, so this is not going to work. I'm definitely going to have to use this side for the hunting space. We're gonna just use all of this as the hunting grounds. It's not that great at the moment, but once I open up more territory, we're gonna open up this space, and then we've got way more hunting grounds. Let's just maybe do this. I'm going to not let them cut the trees over here. Just do it like this, just to prevent them from taking away some of the hunting grounds. Do it like that. Here we go. Okay, so they are willing to trade. Let's see, the elders, they want 50 wood. We've already got 23, so we can actually fulfill this trade, and that's going to give us very good income. Then we'll have all the coin that we need to build the butchery and the hunting grounds, or the hunting camp. So let's just say that's a good trade. What we can do is we can now stack it up in our storages. I'm probably going to need another transport, but let's just say yeah, stock maximum, and let's just let that accumulate. So we've got all the wood that we need, so I'm going to just say confirm. And then additionally, I just have to remove this stockpile option. So if you don't know, if you press the stockpile resource, they will prevent any other buildings from being built or resources to be used for anything else. They'll simply just accumulate all of that specific resource once you press on that button. So this is nice, especially for when you've got quests like I had now to fulfill a specific trade. So we got that extra money now, and I've got 78% overall happiness. So I think we can take the chance and we can impose the levies. We're gonna get 80 coin from that as well. So let's do that. Here we go. We're doing the levy, but now what's nice about that is we can now do the hunting grounds. And I am going to probably move this also on a later stage, but for now we can place one over here. And I call it the hunting grounds, but it's actually the hunter's hut. And the butchery, we can also kind of keep it close by. It does have a negative impact on your residential building, so yeah, we don't want it too close, but ultimately we are going to move this. So let's just maybe go ahead and I'm going to place it right over there. So it didn't cost too much gold. And what we can do is we can now just prioritize the hunter's hut as well as the butchery. And I've got a decent amount of gold still, so I think what I want to do is to do the extended village edict. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. We get some really good benefits from that. So just quickly go here quickly. So what's nice about this one, this refunds 50% of all the tools used after constructing a building part. I think this is definitely the first one we need to look at, and then from there we can look at everything else. The trade quantity bonus is also a very big one. I'll probably, I don't know. It's always for me difficult to decide between the upkeep of production buildings and the bulk trade. Although, you know, if you increase your trade route with all the different other towns, you do end up selling or being able to sell more with all of these towns. I don't know the bulk trade if it's really that good of a one. So I'll probably go with this one, the careful planner, and then the contractual wage and the sturdy material. Those are the ones that I'll probably choose at the end of the day. Yeah, as I've mentioned, you can just upgrade your trade routes and then you'll automatically trade higher quantities in any case. So I don't think that's necessary. Let's say continue on my own. Okay, good. So we are looking for resources actually. The sawmill. I've got 2 lumber camps. I can probably just assign another woodcutter over here. Then we've got 6 woodcutters in total. Now we're still waiting for a lot of different resources. We've still got 31 tools left in the storage. And a lot of that is going to be refunded now also once we start building all of these other structures. Butchery has been built now, so I've only got 2 available workers. So I think what I'm going to do is let's just assign 1 villager here to the hunting hut and 1 to the butchery. Then we still need another person to man the market stall. So we're going to just have to wait for more people to come into our village. I do believe we need additional housing. You can see the housing is currently on -3. So we are a little bit short on housing. But for the new villagers that come in, we definitely need to assign here to the market. And then if we can start selling the meat, assign the meat over there. If we can start selling that, we're going to boost our happiness all the way up. And yeah, we can then also trade with that. We still need to get the labor influence up. So in order to get the labor influence up, what we can do, we can add some decorations over here, right? So what I like to do is I just like to place a food stall sign. That does give us 2 additional splendor. And it does cost tools and planks however. But in any case, it does add a lot to the splendor. So let's just go ahead and place those 2. It's going to help us at the end of the day. So let's just see how we can improve the housing. We can widen this area a little bit more. I suppose we'll only maybe squeeze 1 extra house in here. Yeah, I'm going to just widen it a little bit further maybe, just like that. Let's just do it like so. Now I'm still considering on where I want to place the monastery. I'm thinking I want to place the monastery a little bit outside of where the city is. So it's not going to form part of the actual city. Let's widen this block also maybe. I'm just going to do this for now. We'll probably widen it even further on a later stage. And what we can do is we can also start building a residential block on this side. let's just do it like so. Yeah, I'm gonna just maybe color it in just like that for now. Okay, and now I just basically have to wait for more villagers to come in. We've got a bunch of them coming in now from that side. We are starting to supply the refined food. We just need a man to station the market stall here. Once I've got a good income, I'm going to start building the hedges in these little spaces that I was talking about. And I think for the hedges here, yeah, sorry, for the type of fence I want to use is the hedge within the space. I think it's going to look the nicest with the green. And like I've mentioned, you can easily place the wooden fence. You can easily slot into the fence now. New system that they've got. Okay, so we've got now 4 extra villages. We're gonna have 1 market tender over here, 1 hunter, and another butcher. Here we go. And I think we're gonna generate now a decent amount of meat from that. Now we just have to see, we've got plenty of planks, so I can open up one of the trade routes, and that's the one to Northbury, and they are the ones that will actually buy the meat and the planks, which is great. That's the 2 commodities I want to start selling immediately. So let's do this. Resources. Okay, so for the meat, we can sell the meat. I don't know. Maybe we should sell the meat when it's over. Let's say when it's over 25. And we're going to have to scale that on a later stage. But for now, let's just say over 25. For the planks, I want to maybe increase this a little bit more. I think for the planks, let's say if it's over 30, I think that would be good. So we're going to start selling those 2. We should be getting labor from this. Yeah, there we go. So we've got that labor influence now. Continue my own. Okay. So we've got that 15 labor influence. Yeah. I'm going to definitely use that to open up the trade route. I think that's going to be my first priority. Let's open up this trade route to Trotbury. Then we can start selling the fish off as well. So in the fish, I'm going to pretty much sell everything. We're not using the fish at this stage. And we've got plenty of berries. So I'm going to just sell as much fish as I can. And what I also want to do now, I want to add a sub building and I want to add a tax office. And we're going to just do a little tower. It is the minor tower. Right. I'm not going to worry too much about the look at this stage. And we're going to just go with that so that we can add 1 tax collector. We've only got 34 people in the town, so 1 tax collector will be okay. Yeah, let's do that. Build all. Doesn't require too many different resources. We are going to get some of the tools back in any case. I'm quite happy about that. Right, so systematically you can see that our happiness is climbing. The levy mandate is also disappearing slowly but surely, and once it goes to 0, then we can impose another levy. You can see some of the villages are now eligible to become commoners because we've met all the needs, and that is with the refined food, with the housing, water, and all of that other stuff, and the services. But they've definitely improved the way that the houses are structured. You can see they are squeezing more houses into the space, which I'm really happy about. In the past, you needed a really massive space to have these tier 1 houses, to have enough of them at least. But it's looking much better. So the housing need is not as bad. Used to be. So what I'm thinking of doing, I want to move the storage buildings maybe here to the outskirts where the city wall is going to be. Gonna move them here to the back, and we'll have on every corner of the city we'll have different storages. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Yeah, our tax office is almost done. I think we can assign, we do have one available worker. So we can assign a tax collector, and now from here, we can also start taxing our people. I just want to see something. I want to first accept these villages, because if we've got multiple villages to choose from, you can see they all have got a specific specialty which will benefit your town. So now there's 3 available people. So let's see. I think it's actually going to be 4 available people. Just want to wait for this to clear. Come on, go away, go away. Yeah, I'm going to set the tax. We're going to just go for the first bar. 56 a month. And you can see our coins tendency is only -7 at the moment for the territory upkeep and the general upkeep. So we will be making money. Oh. Yeah, let's do this. They're going to give us some fish if we can give them the stone, and we've got plenty of stone, so I'm going to just go ahead and pay that. Right, so let's assign ourselves a tax collector. I don't know why, but in the past, I mean, oh, actually no, I was thinking about the bailiff. Yeah, it's the bailiff that gives you the special benefits, not the tax collector, actually. Oh, my bad. I do want to maybe also get the extended lumber camp. However, we do need that extra gold, so we're gonna have to wait for some villagers to come and do trading with us. But I also kind of like have to determine where I want to do the boundaries of my city. So I'm thinking I want to place a granary. I'm going to place a granary right over here. Do this. We place the granary over here like so. And right next to it we can also have our warehouse. I'm going to place it just like that. And then the boundary of my city is going to go just on the outside of that line. But they're basically going to form the line for the boundary. The granary and the warehouse, they're going to be just on the inside of where the city wall is going to go past. It looks like, I think we've got a couple of people coming in. It's hard to say, it's just one actually. Sometimes they clip into each other, so there might be more than one. Okay, great. So you can see the only thing that's lacking at this stage, 1% on the refined food. So that's not really that big of a deal. And it was only one villager. Well, that's okay. So let's just see here. We need to get 25 labor splendor. So I need to obviously just build up my coin first. Because a lot of the buildings and structures that we build for the splendor, they all cost money actually. And we need to unlock the monastery. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the monastery. Our levy mandate has expired. So we can impose another levy. Let's do that. That's levy. Yeah, and we're going to get 114 coin. Great. Okay, so from here, probably should start with one of these, either the stonemason or the clothing, one of the two. I suppose the stonemason would be better. You don't produce a lot, but we don't need a lot of space to produce the polished stone. We're going to need a lot of open space to do the clothing. I want to see if we open or if we buy these territories. Suppose I can buy one or two, or one of these two I can buy to do the clothing. Okay, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's just see here. So we're going to assign, I'm going to assign only one worker here for now, and we're going to add the fish. And I do think I want to add some more meat over here as well. And then on a later stage, we can now add the herbs as well, once we've got the monastery up and running. I've already unlocked the basic structures for the monastery, but we do need the polished stone. So yeah, I think that is definitely going to be my next move. So let's unlock stonemasons. Now I don't think the stonemasons needs to be near actual stone deposits. At least I don't think so. So what we can do, maybe, we can rather have our stonemasons here on the boundary of where our city walls are going to be. So let's say, for example, do one over here. Don't want to be too close to the houses because it does have a negative effect. So let's maybe place a stonemason like so. Do the one, and we can have two transporters. Maybe we can add our stone wood planks. We are going to add another section here to the warehouse on a later stage. So this is for the storage improvement. We can do that a little bit later. We are getting some trades in now. They bought fish. We're going to also Northbury. They were supposed to buy the planks. We don't have enough meat, so that's fine. Understand we couldn't trade with that at this stage. I maybe need to build another hunting hut. No, actually that's fine. Got enough balls. I've got to just give it time to accumulate. I think that's the only thing. I'm guessing I'm going to place the monastery maybe more towards this side. We can open up this territory. I want to see something here. Actually, you know what we can do? I'm going to place the monastery more towards this side. Yeah, let's maybe do that. Okay, so I'm going to add myself a stonemason. And they stock maximum. They can bring all the stone towards this warehouse on this side. I think it's going to make the stonemason's job a little bit easier. And then obviously the polished stone will have to go in here as well. Okay, but I think that will maybe be a better move to just place the monastery on this side. So we can see here where the taxes are stored in all the different houses. If you see the houses have got like a 0 on it, that means the taxes have already been collected. So you can see the tax collector is doing a pretty good job. He just has to go collect the tax on this side. Now they've got a storage of up to 20, so you'll see there at the top right corner, that's how many coin they can store in the house. So if you see that it's getting close to that and the tax collector is not getting to all the different locations, and if you see it just hanging on 20 for a while, that means you're going to have to get more tax collectors. But at the moment, I think he's doing a pretty good job, the tax collector that we've got. And so yeah, no issues really there. What we can do is we are starting to generate the polished stone, slowly but surely. Just want to see something. We can add some substructures for the stonemason. But we're going to have to increase our prosperity level to 50. That's going to still take some time. So I don't know, I'll most probably will just have to build another stonemasonry. Maybe. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do, just to accumulate that polished stone. But let's see, if we do the main structure, it only takes stone for the main structure. So that's not too big of a deal. I suppose we can get going with that, just to get the monastery up and running. So this is going to be the chapel. So this will also provide some extra service for the people. Great. So, and I want to build a pretty decent structure. I don't want to, at the end of the day, fiddle more with this. Even though I can change it, I want to get it right maybe from the start. So let's see here. This is a pretty decent structure. I think I'm going to just go ahead and place it like that. Right, and we can now add a sub-building. Want to go for the monk dorms. I suppose we can get a monk dorm and a nunnery. Why not? Let's mix it up a little bit. So, monk dorms. Let's maybe place the monk dorms like that. And for the nuns, they will be on the opposite side. And then what else can we add here? Oh, the scriptorium. That's very important. So this can go to the back. Alright, so it's going to clip a little bit. I'm going to have to do this just for now. And I can place this rustic facade. It does give me 2 splendor, but it takes 15 polished stone. So that's quite a bit. So I'm going to just go for a basic entrance just for now. We can change it on a later stage. Let's just go for that basic entrance. Here we go. Right, so that's a whole lot of stone that we're going to need for this building. And we still need a tower though. So let's see. Tower. This can go up right in the middle. Yeah. Right, so we're going to need... We're going to need a lot of stone. So that's a couple of hundred that we're going to need for everything. Okay, but this is fine. I'm going to just go ahead with this. We will be able to recycle a lot of these tools. So let's just get building on that. See what's happening here. Oh, we can trade some wood. Go ahead and do that. Surplus of construction material. That's good. I will see to it. We actually missed this one trader, this one villager that came in, but we do have plenty of villagers still in the town itself, so that's not too big of a deal. I was hanging around by the monastery for too long. And we've got a decent amount of gold, so what we can do is we can now start expanding. So I want to do the storage improvement, and I suppose we can maybe get some splendor here for the labor. Yeah, I think why not? Let's get the labor splendor going. We do need to unlock the decorations also first. The second tier of decorations, which for me is really just like the first tier of decorations. Okay, but that is done. And now let's see. I don't know why they don't allow me to build the there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna just add a few shrubs. Okay, so our splendor is now currently at 17. I suppose we can just complete it. Why not? We do have a little bit of extra money left, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Okay, one more. Okay, good. So we're on the second tier. So let's just see. How much labor influence do I have actually? 17. Alright, so the bailiff offers 25. I'm gonna definitely go for that. Village fortifications. We can effortlessly upgrade the village fortifications with the new tools we've got. So let's do that one and the labor privileges. Okay, so those are the ones that I'm gonna focus on first. So let's see. Labor privileges. Definitely want to increase the trade price. Yeah, that's gonna be my first one. Okay, and we need the bailiff offer. So let's do this. Add a sub building. And we need to do the bailiff offer. But let's see. It doesn't have to be a big structure. And I think I'm gonna just slot it in right next to the manor like so. I don't know if this is going to be big enough for the bailiff office, but I'm assuming it's okay. Apply to all. Yeah. Do it like that. Okay, so once we've got the bailiff office done, we do get that benefit from the bailiff. It was not from the tax collector, as what I've mentioned before. I think I want to just bring this residential line a little bit down. There we go. Perfect. So that looks pretty much in line with each other. I think that I can do village fortifications now. I think I should just get going with that. So I'm going to add a watchtower. And then we can just upgrade some of the houses. So let's just do it like this. Then that will just ensure that we've always got housing space. I'm going to build a little tower like that. And then we need to do our little watch posts. So we do it like we normally do. Or like I normally do. We're going to build a tower. It's going to be a minor tower. And I think it's going to look really nice on these corners. Roundabout over here. And we need to make it big enough so that we can get a decent amount of patrollers and watchmen. Well, you know what? I think 4 is actually okay. I'm not going to make the towers too high. If we've got 4, I think that should be fine. Let's just do it like that. I think it will be sufficient for this little space that they need to cover over here. And I think we can also consider building another workshop. So go ahead and place one over here. We will probably move it around on a later stage. But this is just going to help us with all the construction because we're still busy with this monastery. It's going to take quite some time to get this monastery done. And once the monastery is done, we can start adding our herbal gardens. And those herbal gardens, if we can start trading with herb, that is a very, very lucrative source of income. So you can actually see there's a couple of towns that does buy herbs. So we've got Northbury that will buy the herbs. And we do have Kingstone Abbey that will also buy the herbs. Those are actually the only two. But in any case, between the two of them, they do buy a lot of herbs. And I truly do make a lot of money once I get going with the herbs. Okay, so we are having a fair The general mood of the population is already high, so I think the odds of us having a successful fair is going to be good, and we will get another 10 labor influence, so I'm going to go for it. So we need to now paint the patrol area. So this is what's different from since the last update. You need to allocate a patrol zone for the specific watch post. This does make it a lot easier to manage, I must admit. So we're going to just go, the patrol zone is going to be with all the colored in, which is just this little small area that we've got over here. That's perfectly fine. We only need a few houses to upgrade to give us enough housing space. Currently it's pretty well laid out. So let's see, the chapel is almost complete. Now for us to have a monistic priest, it has to either be a monk or a nun. But that will supply us with the services, I think, for quite a while. Because we supply, let's see, up to 30 weekly attendance. And within this one, we can have a weekly attendance of 28. So we can easily cater for a population of just over 60, I would say. So this little watchtower is up now, and we've got our patrol zone. We just need to add the actual patrollers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritize this watch post over here. I think I want to do that. Now another thing is we need to start buying tools because we are running out of tools. So let's just see, with the levies. Okay, so we can impose another levy. Let's do that. No. Promotions. This is the one I want to press. 144 gold points that we can get from that. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start importing the tool. Fortunately, we'll have to. So buy, and I think let's just buy maybe up to, let's just say 20. It's going to take a lot of my gold, but that's okay. We'll just have to cope with it for now. We've got quite a few different things that we are selling at this stage. Okay, so we've got the meat, which we get very good money from. Then we've got plenty of fish. And we can actually start looking at selling the polished stone as well, once we've got a decent amount. But we are selling fish, planks, and then you can see we've got Rockberry. Yeah, that's Rockberry coming in, so they will purchase the fish from us. We are going to get a little bit of extra point from that. We are getting higher trade prices now also. And there's Northbury. So they will supply us with the tools as well. So there you go. You can see that Strawberry, they bought the fish. We would have normally gotten 25 points. We got to 28 now. Since we've activated this other policy. This edict, or the privilege. The merchant league. There we go. So I can only assign the priest once these dorms are up. So it's a lot of resource. It really does cost a lot of resource. Okay, so Northbury, they bought some meat, got some nice coin from that, and they also sold us some tools. Okay, so that's great. So we can complete all the structures that's currently in the process of being built, and then we can establish ourselves a herbal garden. Not gonna be a big one. I think let's just do this. Let's just add the herb garden. We need a garden hut, which we're going to place maybe just over here like so. And then we're also going to need the herb planters. So I suppose for now we can just maybe do 2 of these. And then basically that gives 4 slots. 4 worker slots. And then the last sub building that I need to add is the Grange. I think that's how you pronounce it. But thinking of maybe just placing it here at the back. Because we're going to have all the manuscripts, they're going to have to be stored here. So yeah, let's maybe go for it and just place it up there. So we've got plenty of workers available now, but there's a lot of places that we've got to assign them. So for example, we need a couple of people now here at the watch post. I think we're going to need at least 2 watchmen to help cover the area. Just waiting for these builders to come and just finish the structure over here. Alrighty, so the watch post is done. So let's just go ahead and add our patrollers. You can see here 2 patrollers is sufficient for the space. And 2 watchmen is also going to do the job just to cover this territory. Which seems about right. And now some of these houses can start upgrading, but they will take a lot of my planks. And that reminds me, I should probably look at adding another sawmill. So we can do that. We can just maybe add another one right over here. And we need to get the extensions here for the lumber camps. So I'm going to go ahead and just purchase that. And then we can add ourselves a few extensions over here. So let's just see. Restore up to 25 output. So this is quite nice. All those extra things that we can add. Oh, it adds 2 worker capacity. These bottom ones. A drinking post. Okay, so a steering post. Let's do this. I'm gonna add the steering post over here. And we can get another 2 workers for this lumber camp. And then also same on this side. Another steering post over here. And let's just do it like that. So then we're going to have plenty of wood. Now plank production is going to look good. I'm going to just maybe prioritize the sawmill. Get that going. And I can see the nun dorms are done. So let's just maybe say devote 1 nun. Okay, so the people are very happy. It gives us another 10% happiness. And can't assign her as a priest yet. Okay, well that's okay. We'll just wait for a few more people that we can devote. So they are basically telling me the 4 other people that's available to work, they are all males because I can't devote any of them to become nuns. So that means all of them are males. Let's see here. I want to earn wealth through trade. That is really what I want to do with the monastery. So I'm going to just go with that. And I got some coin from there. So that coin, I think I want to actually use that to just open up another territory. So this is a tricky one because now I'm not really sure which territory I should open up. If I open up here, I can start with my clothing production. Suppose I need to get going with that. Or I can open up this territory for more hunting zones. I want to see how the hunting is looking. You see they are slowly but surely depleting the resources over here. I think we can go a little while longer keeping that territory. Just that little one territory. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe just go ahead and purchase this one. And then systematically we can purchase more. Then I can go this way around. I think then I can purchase this territory, and that one, and that one. And then we should be fine. So in total, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, we need to get another 4 territories to open up all the space that we need for the city. Now I need to also start looking at adding some clergy splendor so that we can then open up all of these things, and then eventually get to the modest church. I think it's going to look so nice. But we're working towards that. Now I'm thinking we do need maybe another stonecutter camp. I'm going to see, is this the only stone resource that we've got close by? Looks like it. There's one very far out on this side. See, because this stone deposit is a little bit in my way, to be honest. There is another one on that side. I suppose we can eventually use that one. See, this stone... yeah, it's on a really awkward spot, to be honest. We're definitely going to have to move it. But for now, I'm going to maybe just add another stonecutter camp over here. We did get now that extra labor influence, which is great. So we can just open up all these other things. I'm going to just go ahead and do that. We're not going to use the labor influence for anything else at this stage, in any case. But the people are so happy at this stage. I feel like I can just as well impose another levy. Yep, another 150 coin. That's good. That's going to keep us going for a while. And let's just see. So yeah, I think we can get going with the clothing. We're going to just have to clear out some resources over here. So first things first, clear out all of these trees just to open up the space here for the sheep farm. I think, yeah, we require stone. I thought that's what lacking. And we still don't have any other females that we can devote. So we really need to get the monk dorms up so that we can get some more workers up here. And then they can start working in the herb garden. I think we can also maybe prioritize the herb garden. They can get going with that and we can start selling that. Now, to open up the trade to Kinstone Abbey, I believe we need 15 clergy influence. There we go. Now, I do have plenty of coin, so thinking might as well just start building those shrubs, placing them down right over here. I've got a decent amount of gold, so thinking of just completing this in any case. Apply, yeah. So we can go to the next clergy level, and this will help us build the influence also a little bit quicker. So now we've got to just wait for this to accumulate, and yeah, I think the first thing I want to do is to unlock the clergy privilege. But I suppose first thing before I open any of those things is to open up the trade. I think that's going to be the most important thing, so that we can sell some more herbs. Right, so the sawmill is done. Let's just do this. I don't know, these are all women, so I don't know why they didn't allow me to devote more nuns here. No. Oh, these are probably the new villagers that just came in. I don't know. I suppose the structure needs to be built first before they will allow me to devote more people. I suppose that's the problem. Okay, so my gold coins are running low. I've imposed 2 heavy mandates back to back. That is a little bit of a problem. But I've got all the tools that I need, so I don't think I have to worry too much about that. Let's see, for the taxes, I can push the taxes a little bit. There's 15%. Yeah, and they will still be happy. I've got to just keep an eye on the happiness meter. The overall happiness meter. It is going to drop now a little bit. But the Merry Fair has boosted their happiness quite a bit. Gotta just keep an eye on that. So I just got a quest from the bishop now for me to deliver or supply them with 25 berries and 10 herbs. So what I'm going to do, let's change this up. We're going to add fish here to this market, and we're going to let the berry gatherers just accumulate as much berries as they can. We can actually add another gathering hut over here. Why not? Build another one over there, and we can start accumulating the berries. We do have 28 days to fulfill this trade, so that's a pretty decent time to fulfill that trade. So now let's see here. We've got the herb garden up and running, so we can devote a few people over here. There's another nun that we can add. We've got the monk dorms also up and running, so there we go. So now we've got 2 herbalists, we've got 1 priest. Let's just devote another one. Got a hermitage. Horskog is now hermitage. Right, so we've got 3 herbalists. I think that should be sufficient enough to accumulate the herbs in time. You see, I do want to let them pull this trade so that we can get that influence, and then we can open up the trade route, and then we can start selling herbs to Kingston as well, Kingston Abbey, and to Northbury at the same time. Now I'm going to have to soldier through a little bit longer just to get all of these different resources. I just want to see, so we can assign, I'm going to assign herbs to this granary on the side, add another transporter, and we can also add berries to that. Yeah. So we're not actually going to use the berries at all at this stage. So that should accumulate pretty quickly. Especially if we've got another gathering hut. So this hut is now complete. We've got plenty of villagers coming in there. Let's just see how many are we getting in. There's quite a few. Oh, only 3. Well, that's okay. My bailiff offices have only been completed now, and also I've got enough resources now to complete this delivery, so let's do that. There we go. So now you can see we've got 16 clergy influence, and this is fantastic because now we can open up this trade over here. We also received the bread for fulfilling that trade, so this will automatically allow us now to unlock the trade route for Davenport, and we can sell to them. There's a few things. Okay, so we can, if we want to, we can sell the boars, which is not really ideal, but what will work well with Davenport is the actual honey, which we will be producing soon, the honey and the wax. So I'm going to just go ahead and unlock that territory before I use the bread or anything else. But let's just go here and let's just assign a bailiff for us. So the combatant training speed, that's not going to be important for us because we're not using the military or the kingdom splendor, or what is it called? Yeah, that's right. We're not going to go into the kingdom splendor. I want to go for this lady Kuhnhaus. A funny name for a woman, but she does have nice benefits. So we get a trade price bonus from the clergy kingdom and labor allegiance. So yes, nominate. He is going to be the best bailiff for us. And now we also need to look for places where we can mine. We don't have any. This is the closest. These rocks, which are still pretty far out. Okay, but I don't think it's going to be really, it's not going to be an issue for this gameplay, because we've got the monastery up. We're going to sell herbs, we're going to sell honey. Not going to be a problem. So here we can do the monastic beekeeping. Once we get another 5 labor influence, or sorry, clergy influence, we can start with the beekeeping, and that is going to bring us a hell of a lot of money. So this is going to be, that will be very good. And we definitely need to look at expanding our treasury. Now I'm very limited here with the space. I need more space here for the monastery. So unfortunately I'm going to have to purchase this territory. just to expand it, because I still need to build a refectory. I think that's how you pronounce it. But that's where they're going to eat their meals, the monks and the nuns. If it was in real medieval times, they would have frowned upon this monastery of mine, because the monks and nuns are living together in sin. And yeah, but we are playing a fantasy game, so anything goes, I suppose. I'm gonna wait a little while before I open up this territory. We've only got 120 coin, and I'm gonna maybe just let this levy mandate cool down a bit. But then I want to, as soon as I can, I want to definitely get going with beekeeping. Once I've got that 5 influence, what we can do is we can start selling the herbs, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, well, everything. Yeah, anything that's over 0, I think, why not? So let's just see, we can devote another 2 people over here. Here we go. Now I just want to see something. If I place the fortified wall here, fieldstone wall, this is interesting. Fieldstone wall and fieldstone gate, this is new structures, but I don't know if this is really worth building, because I mean it takes a lot of resources. I would rather then build this structure. Now I just want to see, if I do place this, if I can upgrade it, if they give me the option. Not really sure. Build a small one and see if it works. It's super expensive. See, that small little piece of wall is 24 logs. Oh yes, this is a good trade. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so this is great. So now I've got a decent amount of money. I can open up this territory. So we can add a refectory. What's it called? A refectory. There we go. I keep on wanting to say refractory, but yeah, not right. Okay, so we're gonna just extend it just like so. Yeah, there we go. That should be fine. So that's also a whole lot of stone, but we do need a capacity for 2. I think that's going to be fine. 2 workers at the refectory. Cool. Yeah, plenty of people moving into our town, so we can devote maybe another 1 or 2 people here to the monastery. Okay, so let's just check this out. If I want to, for example, okay, I think we will be able to upgrade these. I really do think so. As you can see, there's the wall option that we've got. So I'm gonna start doing this wooden wall. I'm gonna start bringing it around, just to give us a little bit of like a head start. Let's just do it like that for now. And what we can do is we can add the gate. Look how nicely that slots in. Flip it around. Oh, this is so nice. With these new tools that they gave us, this really makes such a difference. Let's just look at all the different colors we've got. Okay, so this wall is going to have to go a long way up still. But we're going to just do that for now. Yeah, but so far everything's looking good. Going to now start selling our herbs, and once we've got that clergy influence, we can start with the beekeeping as well. So we've got plenty of space for more nuns and monks. Maybe devote as many as we can, so that we've got enough people for the beekeeping. Okay, so we just received the messenger now saying that I've got different options that I can choose from, because they're happy that we've established the trade route. So now I can choose from a chest of coins, or for 10% better prices in trade, I can get the construction materials, which is planks, polished stones, and cloth. Or I can say I can go without, but I think obviously this will be the best choice, because this will be like a prolonged effect. You might not see the effect immediately, but in the long run, it's going to make a massive difference into the game, because we will trade a lot with Kingstone. So I'm going to go with that one. And just to prove my point to you, I want to show you with all the different trades that we can do. So we can sell herbs to them. We can sell veggies to them, which we will produce from the monastery. We can sell honey, sell wax, and eventually we're going to do wine, which we can also then sell. So Kingstone Abbey is probably going to be one of our best trading partners. So it would make sense to also ask for 10% better prices in what we sell and buy. So I've got a decent amount of money, and I'm thinking I want to open up more territories. So let's maybe go this way around, I think. I'm going to open up this territory, and we can now expand our hunting grounds. So we can just do it like this. Just color all of this in. Mineral deposit was discovered. Just want to see, where is this? Oh, yeah, I know about the mineral deposits. You can see them. Yeah. Got a little bit lost there. So yeah, I'm gonna just color all of this in as part of the hunting grounds. It's pretty far out, but at least it's something. And then this forbidden region, I'm going to expand it a little bit. I'm not gonna make it wider, just maybe a little bit longer. There we go. I think this is going to be fine. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so we'll leave that space then for the modest church that we're going to place in the middle. We're going to make it pretty big. But yeah, I'm going to just go with that for now. So now there's quite a few things that I want to do in this specific given moment of time. So I've got quite a few clergy influence now. So I want to activate the Monistic beekeeping, and I think I'm going to also unlock the clergy privilege. So let's just maybe go ahead and set up our clergy privilege. So this will give us another 10% boost in trade with the clergy allegiance, which is specifically Kingstone. We are trading the herbs. Now we can look at adding ourselves a beekeeping, an apiary. So let's just see here. I'm going to just go ahead and add one for now. But now what's going to be nice about this is we're going to produce honey as well as wax. So, and we need to assign those. So herbs, and then we need the honey and then the wax. That can all be assigned here to the Grange. And what's nice about that now is that we can sell that also off. So the honey as well as the wax. There we go. We can sell all of that off. No problem. So what I want to do is I want to also move my manor. Now with the new option that we've got, we can select all the structures together. Where do we do that? Select all. Here we go. And now we can move the whole structure. I want to move to this side. It's not going to cost me that much, but I think this is going to be a good location for the manor specifically. I want to add myself a treasury also onto this manor, but for now, let's just go ahead and place it right over here like so. I think this is a good location for it. Apply to all. Boom. So we can pop it over there. And then what we can do here, we can actually move. We can move the butchery towards this side. A little bit further away from the houses. Just so that it's out of range. That doesn't negatively impact the houses. And then the hunter's hut, we can move just on the outside of the city walls. Seeing that that is where they need to be. And we can add ourselves another hunting hut. I think it's about time that we add another one. So you can see the gate is right over here. So let's just go ahead and add it right over here like so. So I like the fact that we can now build these wooden fortifications. I just felt like it wasn't worth the time and the effort to build all of this, to tear it down and just to start all over again. Now we can just actually upgrade these buildings. Now I need to move all of these structures also away. This is an iron deposit that we've got, and I think I'm going to just say remove the resource. Because yeah, we're not going to use that, so it's going to just be in the way really. So let's do this. How am I going to move this? They don't allow me. You see, they don't give you the option with these structures. Only with the monuments you can select all. But it's not that big of a deal. We're going to just move it down like so. It's a little bit tedious, but we're going to have to do it the manual way for this one. We're going to have to move all of this systematically down. The forester, yeah. All of these structures we're going to just have to move down. It's a little bit of a pain. Okay, good. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add fortified walls here. Make sure that I kind of keep the same distance all around. Otherwise the city is going to look a little bit wonky. Bring it around like so. Oh. Yeah, this is gonna work. So we'll just bring it all the way up. So yeah, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just stop more or less over here for now. That's, and we can also now look at different locations where we can place the gates. So let's see. Need to flip this around. I'm gonna definitely go ahead and place one over here, place one over here, and I'm gonna just basically carry on all around like this. So there's plenty of gates all around. Okay, we're gonna just go with that for now. So yeah, that's a whole lot of wood. I think we're looking at about almost 300 logs that we're using now for these gates and the walls. But yeah, it's already looking good. From what I can see, it's gonna come together very nicely. Let's just see, we can devote a few extra guys over here. Then add a few extra nuns. So we've already got a beekeeping nun over here. I can see 2 of them. Okay, good. We're starting to produce the honey. Yeah, that's gonna give us a very nice income. So you can already see our gold is definitely more sustainable. And this is just all thanks to the monastery with the herbs that we're doing, and now the honey as well. So we can open up more territories. So let's just do that. Yeah, we're gonna just go with that for now. And then ultimately, I think I'm gonna still do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're looking at another 3 territories that we need to open up to have all the space that we need for the specific city. There you can see we're selling some of our honey, some of the wax. Yeah. It's going to be way more sustainable from here on forward. And we've got these upgraded houses. We've still got a lot of capacity for more people to move in. Now we do, however, require the monistic food also. So that would be my next step, is to build the monistic kitchen. And I suppose I'm going to just attach it here to the end from the refectory. So let's just see. Add a sub-building, monistic kitchen. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to expand it. Just like that. Oh, and we do need a chimney, of course. There you go. That's a whole bunch of extra resources that we require. We do have enough of everything though. Yeah, apply to all. Let's do it like that. Hosting the bishop. Okay, need to host the bishop with 50% approval. I think we can do that. We're gonna just host the bishop steward. We just need a 50% approval rate, and looking pretty good. If I do impose a levy, however, we might struggle with it, so I'm gonna just have to carry on like I'm doing without imposing any levies. My next step would be to extend a treasury here by my manor. So I want to maybe just get going with that. Yeah, let's get ourselves a big treasury over here. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. And what we can do is we can also increase the height of this structure. And for the tower, we can increase the height for the tower. I don't know how tall this has to be for us to get another tax collector. There's it one. Okay, so let's just maybe keep it the same height as our actual tower. Maybe a little bit higher. Do it like that. Height to all. It's a lot of resources extra. Surplus of advanced material. Great stuff. Yeah, we keep on making the people happy. Right, now seeing that we've got the extra coin, let's maybe go ahead and boost our influence, or our splendor rather, and add a few extra shrubs over here. plenty of gold, so let's see. So we're currently standing at 58 splendor. We need to get to 75. That's not too bad. Right, and then obviously once I get to the 75, I want to get going with that modest church as soon as possible, so that I can just clear out this forbidden area. We can start, I'm going to just let my gold accumulate again, but then we can start building a hedge around the church. But what I think I want to do rather, for the church, I want to maybe do a small stone fence rather, and then throughout the rest of the town, going to build these hedges around the residential areas. So the hedges are going to basically run up like so, and to almost like form a perfect cross. So far everything is coming along very nicely. Oh shit. I see here, that's not good. We're going to actually lose some of our influence because I need a hospitium. And to have a hospitium, well, there is no way. Hospitium, oh. Yeah, I see, I'm not going to be able to fulfill this. 24 days. Yeah, I suppose I can fulfill it. Okay. Well, the first influence that I get, I'm going to have to spend it on that. But as I suspected, I couldn't get the hospitium built in time for the steward, so I did lose a little bit of my influence, but it's not that big of a deal. So I am actually currently busy still building it. We are lacking quite a lot of resources. I do have enough of it, but we just need the builders to actually get it there. And at the same time, I'm also building my weaver's hut and my sheep farm, so that we can get some extra cloth going. So we do need the cloth here for the stonemason. So I've gone off screen, I've added the stonemason hut improvement. So I purchased that, and at the same time I open up a whole bunch of extra territory. So you'll see I've purchased all of these territories on this side. And this is now what I actually want to do. I want to change the hunting zone. I want to make all of the hunting area on this side. So we can just actually use a very small space. There's a lot of dense forest here, so we don't need to go out that far. So all of this, we can actually remove this. This is going to form part of the city in any case, all of this space. So you can see that I'm currently busy building my fortified wall, or the wooden wall, but it's the simple fortified wall, if you could call it that. And you can see it's going all the way around. I've brought it up here past the monastery. We want to keep the monastery just outside of the town. I think that is in fact how they used to do it. They kept the monks segregated. I think that was just the general thing in the medieval times. And we're going to bring the city wall all the way up and around and connect it towards this side. So now you'll see this is kind of like what I meant with what I wanted to do over here. So we've got the 4 blocks of residential areas. We're going to do the same on this side and complete this block over here. So then you can see it's going to form like a perfect cross with the modest church being as the centerpiece, and it's going to look quite nice with the space that we put out. So we're going to make the structures quite tall. It's not going to be a wide structure, but I'm going to make the pieces very tall. Now obviously we are going to need a lot of polished stone, so that's why I've added the upgrades for the stonemason, and we need to look at adding some more slots here for the warehouse. So we do have some extra space here that we can utilize. So I'm going to add a warehouse extension over here. That, there we go. And we can also add an extension here for the granary. We can add a little depot. And let's just slot it in right over here like so. That's perfect. Okay, good. So everything's progressing very nicely. I'm going to leave this part as the wood cutting zone. Yeah, I think we can just keep it this way. I can maybe add another forester on a later stage. Just let's just remove this here. Actually, let's just select the forester. I want to take this. I'm not going to replant the trees over here. I'm going to let them just chop all the way down here. And just bring it around like so. That's it. That's perfect. So I think this should keep us going in any case, in the long run. Okay, we got a regional fair, so we need to keep the happiness above 75%. We should be able to do that. My happiness is now at 72% only because of the levy mandate. So that's going to go away very soon. We do require monistic food. Now for us to get the monistic food, I'm going to need to... what will I do actually? I think the best thing that we can do is to make the garnished greens. So then we have to supply them with vegetables and cheese. Now I just want to see how far we are from opening up the cheese production. So we're actually very close. We need 100 prosperity. So we are very close to opening up the cheese production. So maybe that's what I need to look at. Yeah. And we're going to also add ourselves... we're going to add ourselves a monistic garden. So they can do the vegetables. I did purchase some extra territory over here, so I'm not quite sure how I want to do the layout. I think I've got an idea. So I'm gonna just do this. There we go. So they are progressing pretty nicely with this fortified wall. Oh, actually, no, they've still got a long way to go. Here we can actually see what they need. That was pretty spot on with the amount of wood that we need for it. It's literally just over 300. And we've only placed 66 logs so far. So it's a long way to go, and we've used 4 out of the 11 tools. So no, we've still got a long way to go for that one. But I want to build up my capital. I did add, as you can see, I did add the treasury. We've got a pretty decent sized treasury now. And we can, suppose we can add another structure and just clip it into this one to increase the treasury. But 860, I think that's going to keep us going for a while. So let's see. So I want to add the residential area. But before I do that, I need to move all of this stone. We can maybe go ahead and add some residential area on this side. And obviously we need to make the block square. So let's just slow this down a notch. And I need to make sure that we keep the same space. It's going to just look so much nicer if we do keep the same space. I'm going to maybe use a smaller block. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so that's a pretty decent block. I'm going to just keep it like this. We can tweak it later a little bit more. As I've mentioned, I need to move the stone. Let's just see here. I want to just double check again where we can get the stone. So we do have a deposit here at the top. We've got the lighted visitors. Very good. Yeah, I think that one at the top, that is definitely going to be our best bet. So we're going to have to use that deposit over there. Unfortunately, I want to remove the stone over here. It's really going to get in the way. Okay, so we've got our vegetable garden going now. I'm going to devote another 2 nuns. So now we are fully staffed. And in fact, we can raise these 2 structures. Maybe fit in a few extra monks and nuns. But let's just see. Okay, we've got the priest. Yeah. But only got 3 copyists. Yeah, you see, this is a problem. We are going to definitely have to raise these structures just to fit more people in. So that will give us another 2 on this side. And another 2 on the monk dolmens. Or dorms. Monk dorms. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna have to clear out a little bit more of this forest in order for us to place the vegetable garden. Let's just clear all of this forest. What we can do for now, suppose we can fill in a small space over here. Oh, it actually says that it's adequately sized. There we go. So I'm gonna just do the square. So what I want to do ultimately, I will add another vegetable garden and we can just create another block going towards this side as we clear the forest. But I can see the fortified wall is coming along better now. Yeah, there we can see it's now probably about 60 to 70% done. Our gold is looking very, very good. Okay, so we're close to getting to the prosperity level that we need to be at. Farming. We need to do the farming. And I want to also do the extended village edict. Gonna get a lot of benefits from that, so let's see here. So mandates, I think let's take this one for now. Yeah, I'm gonna decrease the production cost, the upkeep of the production. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So here we can see, when you look here with the taxes and the trade, 172. Territory upkeep and upkeep in general is only, yeah, that's just 60 something, 63. Okay, so that's very good. We are in a very good positive at the moment. And let's just see with the taxes. I just want to quickly see something. Okay, so it is starting to accumulate here. So it's definitely, we're definitely going to need another tax office. Okay, let's maybe look at building that. And I want to make it a small structure. This Manor Bodua, that's how I pronounce it. But I suppose this would be the ideal structure to have. And maybe more towards this side. So I just want to see where the residential territory runs. I suppose we can build one right over here. We just need to make sure that there is enough capacity for one tax collector. If you keep it too small, you can see that's 0. So we need to raise the roof a little bit. There we go. And you can see then we get that capacity for one tax collector. But now I'm thinking I want to maybe rather build a tower, because that will give us some fortification. We do need that extra fortification. So, got a tower over there. Let's do this. Place a tower over here. Might actually be able to fit in 2 tax collectors. I want to make sure that these 2 towers are the same height. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so unfortunately, I'm only going to fit in 1 tax collector. That's okay. It's going to make the town look a little bit nicer, having all of these towers around. And a little entrance. Here we go. Apply to all. Okay, we've got all the resources that we need for that. That's good. Now, we do see the gold is looking good enough. So I'm going to push my prosperity. Oh, sorry, not the prosperity, the splendor. I'm going to push up a little bit more. And we can just add some more shrubs. It looks nice next to the entry here of the monastery. Nothing suspicious going on here. And do one more here and there. So we need another 3. 1, 2, 3, 5. Here we go. Okay, perfect. So let's just see here. So we need 20 of the clergy influence in order to unlock the modest church. So I want to get that going. I want to build up that influence. We are already on 11, so accumulating nicely. And let's maybe prioritize the sheep farm, because I need to get going with this cloth so that we can build extensions here for the stone mason. Oh, this is good. I think I'm going to do this one. Then we're going to get 5 clergy influence. Let's do that. So now we're going to achieve that much quicker. At least then, you know, we can just start with the blueprint at least for the modest church. Okay, so it says here, increasing trade with Kingston Abbey. Okay, see. Yeah, so they've got a couple of different things. Barrels are hard to come by. Increased trading volume. Trade with the resources. 28 days. Trade bonus and buying polished stone. Okay, we don't want to buy the polisher when buying. This is all for things that I want to buy, so I think if I am going to buy something, it would probably be the barrels. So yeah, let's just do that one. I'm definitely not going to buy any of the other things. Right, so we increased the dorm size of the monks as well as for the nuns, and I've added them. And it does seem like we've got enough workers now for everything. And we've got the sheep farm over here, so we can start by just painting the pasture. And we can increase the size here a little bit. And we can kind of like, just draw it up like this. I'll neaten it out a little bit later. Now I'm going to make like a elongated pasture because I want to fit in the cattle farm as well. We'll need to unlock that though. Let's see. Oh, we need to assign the workers. Here we go. Adequately sized. Okay, I just want to see something. And take quite a bit of this pasture away. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it like this. And I think we can pretty much mix the cattle and the sheep. Why not? We can place them together. So we've got a sheep farm now there, and I'm gonna just let them remove this resources. There we go. That's gonna bug me if I have to look at that stone in the middle of the pasture. So we've got enough gold now to unlock this. It's pretty pricey now to build the other structures also, so let's just see here. For the dairy farm, it's 150. Yeah, you see, we don't even have enough money for that. Okay, so I'm gonna just have to let my gold run a little bit still. At least we've got the technology unlocked now. And we're currently busy with our second tax office. You can see that the taxes are slowly but surely accumulating, so we do need that extra hand to help. This is so handy. So there you can see there's a couple of taxes building up over there. I think with 2 tax collectors, that's going to be sufficient enough. We might as well remove this resources as well. We're not going to have any mining going on inside of the actual city. Now, only once the stone deposit is removed am I going to expand the rest of the residential area. So oh, I can't see if it's in the territory. Yeah, it's in my territory. So in fact, we can probably move this already. We've got plenty of stone, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And they've got a really long way to walk. But I'm gonna have to do this if I want to make my city look really nice. We're gonna have to compromise here. We're gonna just place them down over there. And I don't like doing this, but I'm going to take away those resources. All of these resources. Open it up. Yep. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. So I think this residential area needs to be a little bit longer to be in line with the same size that we've got over here. Slightly longer. Here we go. So yeah, I think that is pretty much in line with what we've got. Maybe, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna keep it this way. So now we can, from here, we can bring it out slightly. We're gonna bring it up to around about over there. There we go. Obviously the design's not perfect, but I think this is going to work for what I want to do. Now from here we can actually extend the wall even further. Used pretty much all my wood. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to have to just color in this residential area to make sure I don't overlap here. So this is going to be more of an oval shape, I would say, for the city. But I'm going to go with this. Yeah, there we go. This is perfect. We just need to connect it right. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so now we've got to fix the gates. Here's the gates. There's one. Got to face the other way. Yeah, I'm gonna build plenty of gates. Gonna need quite a few over here. To help with the accessibility, of course. There we go. Alright, that's another 340 wood. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we can do, seeing that we are using so much wood, we can definitely get ourselves another forester. So I think that's definitely going to be needed. And we're going to have to add ourselves some extra woodcutters. So now I've pretty much used all of the workers I've got available. There's a few extra people coming into town now. But yeah, I think we've got something good going here. I'm going to remove this church once we've got the modest church up. And then I'm going to fill that empty space over there. The gold is accumulating nicely, so what we can also do is we can add our dairy farm. And place it round about over there. And then our cheese maker can be placed also right over here. I'm gonna squeeze it in so that there's enough movement space. Okay, that should do the trick. There we go. Right, this might actually take very long to complete all of this. But the people are generally very happy, so we've got -1% for the refined food. I need to actually build myself another butchery. I think so. Yeah, let's do that. Add ourselves another butchery. I suppose we can place it right over here. Okay, so now we can start doing some cloth, which I'm very happy with. Add some cloth, and I still haven't completed this extension here for the warehouse. Goodness, okay, we're gonna have to prioritize this. There's a lot of structures that's being built at the moment, so I think that's why we've got delays pretty much everywhere. Let's see, this warehouse, do we still have space here for cloth now? Yeah, we need to look for a space where we can add the cloth. We're gonna just have to wait for this piece to be done, really. There's a whole bunch of extra villagers coming in, so that's good. Our town, now just under 100. So it is growing very nicely. Yeah. I'm gonna accept this trade. I know we need all this wood, but I'm gonna just say accept, and let's just stockpile the wood. Yeah. Yeah, so we need to accumulate 150 wood. Got wood here. Got wood here. Okay, cool. So they can just systematically stockpile everything. Add. I need to add another transporter here. I have to wait until they complete that piece. But you can see that wood is accumulating incredibly fast. So, and we've got 14 days to fulfill that trade. So yeah, we should be fine. Oh, this is good. Okay, so if we can deliver, we've got 84 days to deliver or accumulate 15 manuscripts. Then we're going to get 10 influence, 30 influence, and we get 30 polished stone. You see, that's going to come very much in handy. So I'm going to accept that. And we've got now enough influence here to unlock the modest church. Okay, so what we can do, I'm going to just slow down everything. Right, we've got so many things going on. But we actually have a wall for the modest church. So I'm thinking I'm going to just go with that. With the modest church wall. Where is that? I think it's this one, the graceful fence. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Okay. So it just takes normal stone. So now what I'm going to do is to clip it. I have to build this piece now. This is part of the modest church, yes. Okay, buildings with unfulfilled requirements. If you want to build without fulfilling requirements, be used when the requirements are met. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to just say yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Oh, man. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this separately. Alright, let's try this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. Do that. I'm hoping it's gonna work. It says here construction requirements not met. Okay. This is not gonna work. Unfortunately. We're gonna have to destroy this. I want to see something. Yeah, I think I know what I did wrong here. So I need to actually go here. There we go. See, this is the problem. Should have just come here. There we go. Oh, see, that's working. Oh, I can do this. And what we'll do is, I think we'll just make 4 gates, like pretty much a gate from each side. Then I think that would be nice. So just like that. We can place one there. And let's see here. Select it. There we go. I have to just go into the edit tool. There we go. And then the last one. Okay, this is good because now I've got it zoned out. I can remove all of this. We've got our space for the church. And now the rest of this building is going to take extremely long to get everything done. The fortified walls with everything else. So I'm going to just go off screen and complete all of this. So my dairy farm's up and I've got 3 villages that I can assign. I'm going to just do that and let's just do... I'm going to do the circular brush. And we can increase the size a little bit. And put in the pasture. We can also make a elongated pasture because we can then eventually add more of these dairy farms and sheep farms right next to each other. And that already says to me adequately sized. So this is great. I'll probably just make it a little bit more narrow. Here we go. Okay, well that's perfect. So we're making the most of the space that we've got over here. Eventually I'm going to just take out all of the trees on this side. And we're going to use this for brain farms. I might as well just do this now. Just say remove resources. And I see here's another stone deposit. It sucks that I'm going to have to take that out as well. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to just keep the one. That. Take out all of these trees. So then we can make space for the wheat farms. I've got so many structures that's being built now at the same time. What's nice about the hospitium that you... for the pilgrims that come to your hospitium, they leave a lot of donations, and it comes in different shapes and forms. So they actually gave bread, a lot of bread. I mean, that's quite nice. You can see there we've got 24 bread, and that's without me having any bakery. But I want to see now, my coin is looking pretty good. So I think it's about time that I just boost my labor influence. Let's just see. Okay, so we need to use the tax office. Get to these decorations. And let's just go ahead and place a whole bunch of shrubs. We've got plenty of money, so I'm not too worried about this. We need a little bit extra. Still 6 short, okay. Fly, okay, cool. Population hits 100. Okay, fantastic. Right, so let's just check this out. So I've got some extra privileges now that I can unlock. I'm going to do that. I've unlocked just recently the extended village edict. So that's good. We're going to go into that now as well. And I'm very close to unlocking the clergy privilege. We need another 1 influence points, and then we can unlock that one as well. So let's just maybe go ahead while we wait for that one. Let's just jump in here. And we're going to go for this one, for the mandates. Here we go. And now we can look here. Residential taxation happiness effect is decreased by 25%. That's a good one. Labor building upkeep is used. That's also a good one. I'm going to go for this one. And let's see, we've got now that influence. So let's see what we can do over here. And 1 influence with its clergy building upkeep reduced. Oh, that's a nice one, but I think I'm going to go for this one for now. Reduces the upkeep for all the clergy buildings. We've got quite a few, and we're going to have a big church in the middle. So I think it would make sense to go for that. Right, so we're going to just fulfill this one. Giving them the manuscripts. There we get our 10 extra influence, and we get 30 polished stones. Now that's going to come very much in handy for our modest church that we're going to build here in the middle. And I think we can get started with that. So I want to just see how I'm going to do the layout for this church. Here we go. Right, we've got some really nice towers. I mean, look at this. This is lovely. So the tower, let's start by placing the tower in the corner right over here. And it's going to be pretty tall. Yeah. I want this church to really feature. Right, and then we've got the nave. We can probably do 2 of these. We can fit 2 of these in. Yeah, that looks nice. So let's do that. Go. Okay. So we can already cater for 150 people. That is lovely. So let's see. So thinking of where I want to place the entrance. It's a pretty big door. Having it like from this side, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And then this we want at the back, I would say. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. I think we're going to go for that. And then I want to see if we do... Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So this is going to come in from the side. We're going to place it in here like so. And then we're going to add another piece. I would say round about over here. Just a little bit small. I think if I can make it clip slightly, I don't know why there's arrows over here. I hope those arrows go away eventually. But let's just see. If I clip this building a little bit. Yeah, not gonna work. Oh, I can clip it a little bit on this side. Okay, that's actually perfect. And now there is enough space for the people to move past. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. We can do like a small entrance at the back. Yeah, I think if we do it like this is gonna work. I'm pretty happy with this layout. I think if we go with this, there's nothing more that I can add to it, really. Yeah, if I'm looking at this now, what is this? A buttress. I don't know where this is supposed to go. Oh, okay, I know what this is. Alright, I know what this is. Okay, and I think I know where to place these. Now this will give it a very nice extra look. So we can add these right over here, like so. That's right. Okay. I didn't know that's a name for it, a buttress. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna look very nice indeed. So we can do the same on this side. Just make sure that we space them out the same distance. And that they're the same height as well. That looks pretty accurate. Yeah, so obviously you can see this is going to be a hell of a lot of resources. The upkeep is also pretty extreme. But this is the, how can I say, the whole point of me doing this city is to have this. It's really like a monument if you look at it. There's so many things that gets added here. It's a beautiful structure. So obviously it is going to take a lot of resources. But it is pretty wild if I look at how it's accumulating now. 420 stone, 340 polished stone, 215 planks, and then 112 tools. That's pretty crazy. But I think I'm gonna just go for it. Just place all the different structures. Place it all together. Just finish it one time. I can prioritize other structures while I'm busy building this. And for this window, oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. This is really 50 glass? Okay, but it is gonna look pretty decent. I mean, if we place it over there, that's gonna look really nice. What I can do, I can maybe rather place the facade, and that's gonna look just as nice. Can you still place a window here? I suppose with the facade you can have the window and the facade. We've got to go full out. Seeing that we are going through with this whole structure, we have to get this done. Okay, and then right at the top, this is nice. We're gonna place this one at the top. That just looks so cool. Yeah, we're gonna go for that. I'm not gonna worry about the garden as of yet. I think I'm pretty happy with the structure the way it is now. I just want to make sure there's nothing else that I miss. Yeah, no, I think this is pretty much it. Yeah. This is gonna look cool. I'm just not sure if I'm quite happy with the tower in its location. But yeah, I think this is gonna be the best place for it. We can maybe increase the height a little. Yeah. And I'm gonna just go ahead and raise this one more, all around. And what I'm thinking of actually dropping this one a little bit. It's gonna just give it some different dimensions. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see just with the structure alone, we're getting 66 clergy splendor. That's pretty wild. But if you look at all the different resources we require for it, it's crazy, man. Crazy. We actually need the stained glass as well. So that's gonna take a pretty long time to get all of these things. Okay, but let's go for it. I'm gonna just say build. And they can just carry on building this while we do all the other stuff. I'll just prioritize everything else. So for example, we can prioritize the cheese maker. And we can also add ourselves another builder workshop. So let's add another builder workshop right over here. It's obviously just temporary that we're going to place that there. But that looks pretty cool. I think the church is going to be a very big success. And we can prioritize the fortified wall here as well. So let's see, how many woodcutters have we got? We can add a few more here. Here we go. Now we've got 10 woodcutters in total, and we've got 6 carpenters. So yeah, I think we sorted with all of those things. We can now go ahead and add ourselves some cheese makers. And I'm building a granary over here. And I'm going to add the cheese and the milk. I'm going to add to that granary. We can maybe place it in here also for now. Milk and cheese. We can add there. And now what's nice about this is we can actually now start making the monistic food. Let's just see here, garnished greens. Yeah, so we need vegetables and we need cheese. Vegetables and cheese. Let's see, how many vegetables have we got? 50 vegetables. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the garnished greens. The population, in general, they're pretty happy. We are lacking in service. Hopefully not for long. And rustic food. Okay. So yeah, I do know that we do need to add extra market stalls. I mean, we've got literally 2 market stalls for over 100 people. So I suppose it's time to add a few extra stalls. So let's see, I think we've got 2 stalls for the rustic food and 2 for the refined food. I think we should be fine. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna add some more rustic food and some more refined food, and I think that will keep the people happy quite some time. Now you see, we've got now 4 cooks assigned here to the monastic kitchen, which is not really what I would want. because this took away from our copyists. And we just see, we still have our 4 herbalists. We've got our beekeepers. Okay, well I suppose it's fine. They just took away some of my copyists. I will probably have to add extra dorms there eventually. Finally got the fortified wall up. Alright, so that means all of these houses, they've got now light fortification around them, but we still need to get the patrols going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more tower. Let's just see here. Yep. So we're going to add one more of these towers. Let's just make sure. I want to keep them all the same height, otherwise it's going to look a little bit strange. So one more lower. Yep. And we can move this towards this side. It would make the most sense to have it on this side. Go. And let's apply all. And we can then just say prioritize. And we're going to paint this area. Right, so this is the area that they're going to cover. We're going to need 2 or 3 patrollers that's going to wander around here. We don't need any more watchmen, because it's inside a safe space. I think they should still apply the watchman. You know, I know it gives like a light fortification when you've got these watchtowers, but as soon as you've got the wall up, they become useless. I mean, I can actually take this watchtower down. I'm gonna do that, and I can remove these watchmen, and it's not gonna be a problem. I mean, it's nice to have that extra workforce, but I think just to add that little bit of an extra challenge. So we've got this whole area covered for the patrols. We just need to get that actual tower built. Now, also on this side, I'm starting to produce the garnished, what's it called? Yeah, the garnished greens. There we go. So I've got the garnished greens going, and I must now just make it available here at the refectory. So the monks can only consume the food at the refectory. So you've got to just keep that in mind. So you've got to place the garnished greens in there, and then you also need storage for the garnished greens. So I've placed the garnished greens in the grange, so that's going. And now, yeah, there you can see our cattle. They're very happy. They on their pastures, adequately sized. So now from here, we can start producing our wheat. I'm still waiting for them to clear out all of these resources. I don't know why they're not taking this away. In any case, I think there is enough space for us to work with in any case. So let's do this. I'm going to place my wheat farm over here, and I'm going to add the extra buildings here as well. So the wheat barn, we're going to need this for the extra storage. Let's maybe go ahead and place it like so. And then we also need the cooling shed that we can place, actually slots in nicely like so. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe just go ahead and do that. And otherwise we don't need anything else. Okay, so I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, and we can prioritize this building. And I'm gonna just wait until it's finished before I color in the pasture size. And then we can add ourselves a windmill. Now we do need water supply. So what we can do is let's add a windmill over here. Place it on the side. We can increase the output. Oh. Yeah, these are extra structures that also came with the update. Quite happy about that. So first time I'm using them. Let's move it like so. I think this will be fine. Okay, and we can also prioritize this one. And then lastly, what I want to do is I want to add a couple of wells. So we can add a well on this corner. Right over there. Okay, and then Lastly, we can add another well on this side. I think this would be a good location for it. Yeah. So we're just prioritizing all these other buildings while we're building the church. I could have just left the church in blueprint mode, but I think it's going to take a hell of a long time to get everything done. So I want to just get going with it. And as you can see, they've already placed a whole bunch of resources into the structure, which is great. I mean, we need that. Then we need 1 stained glass, and then we need an additional 50 glass and 5 tools. That's crazy. And now speaking of that, I just want to see something here. The glass workshop. We'll need to purchase that. It's just glass working. Right. So the glass works. Can't remember the glass works. Oh yeah. Here we are. I don't think I need the glass smelter. I just need the stained glass workshop. That's all I really need. Because I'm going to import the glass. It's going to cost me so much money. But that's all I can do really. I can't produce my own glass. So, where shall we put this? Actually, let's leave that one. I'm going to use this builder's workshop. I want to see something quickly. I think I've slotted the glass into this warehouse. Yeah, there we go. So what we can do is, let's move this builder's workshop. I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to go ahead and place it right over there. And then what we can do is, we can add the stained glass workshop. We can add here. Okay, and we can prioritize this as well. And what I should do, I'm running a little bit low on berries, so we should probably get another gathering hut. Let's maybe do that. Let's add another gathering hut. Rustic food, yeah, there is a shortage of. You can see. Okay. So what we can do is, we've got a decent amount of cloth going at the moment. I definitely need to set up my tailor workshop. And that we can set up right over here. No problem. Fits in very nicely actually. And then I suppose I need to import a little bit extra tools. So let's go here, and I'm going to increase the amount of tools that I'm going to import. We can maybe bring this up to 30, I would say. Our money is still looking very good. And let's just see with the tax. Oh, I'm still busy with the tax office. Oh my goodness. Oh no, wait. Here we are. No, I do have the 2 tax collectors. Okay. Yeah, that's looking better. So you can see they are collecting the money much more effectively. And we're probably going to have to place another tax office more towards the side as we're getting extra houses. Now I've added an extension here for the chapel, because we were having a problem with the services, so I just temporarily added another piece over here so that we can supply for everybody. You can see the service is looking slightly better. It's still in a minus. Rustic food shortage. Okay, yeah, I know. We need to get that gathering hut up as quickly as we can. There it is. Okay, so we've got to just wait for that, and then once it's done, we can then start producing some extra berries. we need to prioritize these markets as well. Ready, so we've got the market stalls up, we've got the tenders there, and then we've also got our patrollers up and running, and I've assigned some foragers here to the third gathering hut that we've got. And you can see over here the wheat farm is now complete with all the additional slots. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the crops. And yeah, I'm going to go for the circular brush. I'm going to eventually add the fences. I'm not going to worry about it now. But I'm going to just go ahead and paint it maybe like this, in an elongated shape. Or I suppose we must maybe make it a little bit shorter for now. And wider. It's going to be easier for them to navigate it. So we do it kind of like this. Yeah, we can extend it on a later stage. Make it more thin and add some more wheat farms on a later stage. But for now I'm going to just go with that. And we're going to just wait for some extra villagers to come in so that we can assign them to the farm. We've got another fishing hut up over here. I think it's necessary just to keep good trade as well. We just have that third fishing hut. And I've already assigned a worker here to the master, the stained glass building, whatever you call it. So I've got a master builder over there. We need 50 glass. Oof, we need a lot of money and a lot of glass. I wonder if I should just go for it. Just ask for the 50 glass one time. Or do maybe 25 at a time. Yeah, that's maybe healthier or a better option. Okay, so we can assign fishermen over here. And we've only got another 2 workers that we can assign. But I'm going to let them start planting the wheat. Oh, it's only 1 person. Okay, that's fine. Let's just see over here. So we can see Davenport. They are selling. They're the only ones. Oh yeah. Okay, so Davenport's the only ones that's selling glass. Alright, so I'm guessing I need to maybe just go for a very big amount. Just purchase as much as I can. So buy. But I think 25 should be fine. Let's just go for 25. It might get too expensive. I want to see how much do they charge in any case. Buy 7. 70. Yeah, that should be fine. We should be okay with that. And it's pretty crazy to see that the church is full, like nothing has been built. It's still on the ground. It's because we don't have any tools. Or they didn't utilize any of the tools. I suppose we need to place the stained glass in before they start building. I don't know. But it's going to look amazing. It's going to look really cool. Right, so I'm thinking, what else can we add over here? Oh yes, this is what I wanted to do still. I'm going to upgrade my splendor, the labor splendor. We can add a few extra shrubs. We've got a lot of money. I'm going to just go ahead and add a whole bunch over here. It doesn't look out of place. I just put it over here, so apply. 132. Okay, we're nearly there. There we go. Alright, so we are now on the tier 4. And I just want to see, I want to get the markets up, right? So I've got enough influence to build this. Okay, so go with the fortifications first. Let's do that. I'm going to go for the fortifications and then for the city market. I want to first see if I can upgrade these walls. Yes. Yes. Okay, this is good. Replace sanctuary. Now this sanctuary wall, I can't. Oh, it's light. Okay, that's say light. Yes, heavy. We want to go for these ones. It's gonna be super expensive once again. Okay, so we're going to require 220 tools. 408 polished stone. We already have wood in there, so you can see we're gonna actually get a refund of 220 wood. Okay. Let's just first do this. I'm gonna add some extra stonemasons before we upgrade this wall, right? Okay, we've got the blueprint now there, so we know what we need. Man, that's a whole lot of resources. And then we haven't even upgraded the gates. That's wild. That's pretty wild. Okay. So my first priority, I think, is for the next workers that come in, I'm going to assign them to the stonemason. And in fact, I can use the bailiff to import or to invite commoners. So I need 10 labor influence, then I can invite 5 commoners. This is going to be great for us, because these commoners we can then assign on different posts. The specialized posts, that is. I'm thinking of doing that, but we do need to add decorations and we need proper housing for them. So before we get to that point, we've got 5 labor influence. So let's maybe add some decorations first. And we need the houses to upgrade. So, first of all, this I'm going to have to move. So I'm gonna just go ahead and move it to about over there. Oh, okay, so then for the decorations, I feel like I want to place the cypress trees. They're super expensive, but they're gonna look really nice. So let's do this one. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it like that. I think that looks pretty nice. I've got another idea of what I want to do. Okay, so we can do a trade for 150 wool. We've got already 100 in stock, so let's stockpile the wool so that we can complete that trade. That's going to give us some nice extra income, which we definitely need at this stage. I think we've got a pretty straight line over here. So my intention is then to also build a hedge over here, which I'm going to just go ahead and build right away. And then easy, we can just add a little wooden fence. Other way around, we can add a wooden fence over there to make it easy for everybody to move around, but it's going to look really nice. There we go. And we can prioritize this as well. Let's just prioritize that. There we go. Okay, so we got an extra 2 workers in. They're going to go to the stonemasons. Now we need some of these houses to upgrade in order for us to welcome those commoners. Otherwise they're going to just leave again. So, ooh, this is nice. Oh, this is actually great. So if I can complete this quest, I'm going to get a stained glass. So now I'm going to double my efforts into getting some more monks in. I need to add some extra dorms. So okay, What I'm gonna do is, let's do this. Got an idea. Let's remove this guy. And then I want to remove this structure specifically. There we go. Boom. I'm getting extra 3 tools, which is great. And then I'm going to rather build some extra monk dorms. Yep, we're gonna get another 12 monks. Prioritize this building. Here we go. And then we can assign some more people as copyists. And we can build up these manuscripts. We've got a lot of time actually to fulfill this. 83 days. So this is great. We're going to get that stained glass. And then we can complete the church. We're not going to need anything else. So I can see we've already got a lot of resources assigned here to the church, which is great. Okay, so obviously one of my main goals now is to get enough manuscripts so that we can get that stained glass. It's going to make a world of difference for me, just to get this church also going. So what I can do is maybe let's just add another stone cutting camp. Now we've got already 2. We're going to just go ahead and add a 3rd one. And when we do get more workers in, I'm going to probably just have to assign them there for now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. As you can see, the stone is really on the low side. So, and there's a whole bunch of workers coming in now. But we need to get these extra monk dorms. We need to get it built. We need to get it done as soon as possible. And then I want to immediately assign as many monks as I can. Just complete those manuscripts to just produce that extra manuscripts. We've still got a decent amount of time, but I would say we're going to need at least 60 days. So they need to get this built. The voter mail. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's pretty nice. We can already devote them while they're busy building the structure. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 5. We've already got 5 people that can produce the manuscripts for us. So yeah, I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Now I just want to make sure I did stop the glass imports from Davenport. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop it on time. So we did purchase 25 glass, which I suppose we can use it for something. Certain structures that's going to require glass. Oh, actually yes, the citizen buildings, the tier 3 resident structures, they do require the glass, so we're definitely going to use it. I just want to see now, we need to get the commoner residents. We need extra beautifications. We've got enough beautifications over here, but we need a commoner resident. Okay, so we first need to bring them in before the house changes. So let's do this. Welcome 5 commoners. There we go. Boom. We do need that extra workforce. Service. Okay. Service is on the low side again, but that's fine. Once this church is up, there's going to be no more issues like that whatsoever. This is going to be pretty interesting. When we get this church built, when it's done, we're going to get 50% of the tools back. So on 132, that's like 65 tools, 66 tools that we're going to get back. That's pretty decent. That's going to set us up nicely, you know, once we want to get going with this village fortifications. Yes, that's a lot of resources. Let's just check this out. So yeah, and we're using all the polished stone and all the normal stone. Actually can't stay ahead with that. But I think the church crowns, I'm very happy with this, to be honest. This is looking pretty good. I don't understand why we've got these arrows over here. This is really bugging me. That I've got to sit with these arrows. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look past it somehow. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we need tools. Oh man, Okay. Well, I'm gonna just have to carry on with the other things for now. Let's see, we can devote... Maybe we can devote some extra guys. There we go. Got one extra guy. And we can add some farmers. 2 farmers there now. I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. I kind of already know in my head what I want to do, so that's the problem. Then I start running out ahead before I've got all the stuff in place. But this is just to show you an idea of what I've got in mind. I've got this hedge with the cypress trees, right? And we're going to do the same on the opposite side over here. And I think it's going to look really amazing. And we can do like a paved road here in the middle. I just want to make sure that we've got all the market stalls and everything placed before I start doing the paved road. But we're going to need a heavy stone production. Keep this maintained, all these paved roads. But it's going to look amazing once it's done. You see this, I need to move still. Yeah. So ideally, I would maybe like to move this over here. There we go. And we can do the same with this one. This can also come here. And let's build this workshop. Maybe squeeze it in over there. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. So these people just popped out of nowhere. Okay, so now we've got plenty of workforce, which is great. So just go ahead and devote a few extra over here. Just to make sure that we're gonna have everything done on time. We still need 1 copyist. There we go. Okay, so that's completely filled up. And now I've got to just hope that we're going to get everything done in time. 60 days for 10 manuscripts. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We can add a millers. Just add another 2 farmers. Yeah, it still says it's too large. Do this. Take away. Okay, the next person that comes to the village, I'm going to also add them as a farmer, and then we're going to just see if the size is going to be okay. Church is actually coming along nicely, so we still require so much though. We still need 130 normal stone. We still need 300 polished stone, but there's enough blanks. That's okay. We don't have an issue with the blanks, and then we need plenty of tools. I could just maybe for now import a little bit of extra tools. We are going to get a massive refund once the structure is done, so let's do that. Let's say 45. We did get some extra workers in, and let's just see. So we're fully staffed with the farming, with the wheat farm, and you can see the size is now fine. So we can add a few more workers here to the miller, and then of course we still need a bakery. So let's just see, bakery. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and place the bakery right behind the tailor. I think it's going to look nice having these 2 buildings relatively close by. We do have plenty of wells also nearby. I did build some extra, so we can prioritize this building. And the manuscripts, it's accumulating nicely. Yeah, we're definitely going to finish that on time. So we will have the stained glass for the church specifically. I'm so happy about that. Okay, so let's just see. I want to continue here with the hedges. Do this all around. So we can do a hedge over here like that. I don't want to pull it all the way through. I think it's going to look a bit funny if I do pull it all the way through. And then we can make 2 little gates like we did on the other side. We can do the same over here. We've got plenty of wood, so I'm going to just carry on with this while they're building all of these other massive structures. And while we're waiting for the resources to accumulate, for the polished stone specifically. Yeah, but I think this is going to really, I think it's going to look really smart. Just doing it like this. Obviously the way I think it's going to look in my head and the way it's going to finally look, that's 2 different stories. But I'm going to just go with my gut feel on this. Oh, almost missed them. Okay, so we've got extra 3 workers, so let's maybe just add another 2 millers. And let's see, can we devote another person over here? No. But in any case, we don't need more copyists. So we're fully staffed with the copyists, so don't worry too much about that. Okay, so let's continue with the hedges on this side. So I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to pull it through. Pull it through to roundabout over here. What we can do is we can just add that fence more or less where the entrance is for the church. Another one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let them just carry on with that. We still need to do this side, obviously. But I'm going to let them carry on with that for now. I'm not sure, have we gotten any commoners in yet? I know I invited them. I'm not even sure if we got them in. As we see, we've only got 1 commoner. The others left or something, I don't know. Anyways, okay. So I'm going to just start taxing them. I think let's maybe invite them again. Can't afford upkeep. Oh, can't afford upfront cost. Oh, okay. So it's 9 labor influence. We need 10. I don't know if I'm going to invite more because I actually want to unlock these other items. So let's maybe just upgrade some of our citizens. Maybe I should just do that. Yeah. So we've got another stonecutter camp. I'm going to definitely assign that worker. Employment is very high. I must say it's the first time I've got high employment. Usually I don't have any work for the people. Everything is high at the moment, and even my income. This play has been going very well, I must say. Okay, so yeah, you know what, let's just go ahead and add another 3 miners over here. We need so much stone. And for the polished stone, I suppose we can add another worker station. Yeah, let's just do this. I think we need it. So there we can add another 2 workers at the stonemason. Then we've got 6 of them. And I think that's going to be sufficient enough. So let's just see if we can also improve our trade with one of the neighboring towns. So we can improve our trade with Northbury. To improve our trade with Kingston, oh yes, we need an emissary. Okay, so that is a priority for me. Let's improve the trade route with Northbury, and then I want to build an emissary outfit. Yes, new sub building. Okay. The emissary office. I don't think it needs to be connected to anything. We can just maybe build like a little hut here for the emissary. Oh, but you know what? I think it does need to be attached because we need to assign a monk. That's right. We need to assign a monk. So emissary offers. Let's see how we're going to do this one. I suppose we can just put it down here at the back. Yeah. I'm going to just put it down like that. And we can prioritize the structure. It doesn't need a lot of resources. Okay, we've almost got enough manuscripts now to fulfill that request. And then we can get our stained glass. And then we've got all the resources that we need for the actual church. We're still lacking some stone and a lot of polished stone. That's for sure. We've got the extra space here for the workers at the stonemason, so I'm going to add another 2 workers over there. And we're almost done here with the emissary office. Got everything that we need. And I want to see our treasury is almost full. We completed the trade request from someone. They needed wood, which we had plenty of. we just really lacking in the polished stone. That's a big problem, and the normal stone. But we've got enough workers there now. It's just that we've got so many structures going up at the same time. Thinking I need to unlock something else here. City fence, I don't really know if that's necessary. Butchery market, I suppose we can unlock that. And as you can see, we've already got now our first tier 2 houses up. Now I just want to see if there's any other town that we can do. We can improve the trade with Davenport. Oh yeah, we do have plenty of blanks, so I'm going to go ahead and say let's improve the trade with Davenport while we're waiting for the emissary office here. Almost done, so close. And then we can also improve the trade with Kingstone. We've only got 20 days left to complete this request here for the manuscripts. But we are going to make it, definitely. We are going to make it. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so let's see. We're going to assign ourselves an emissary. Happiness is less impacted by 10%. Okay, well this is pretty good. They all give the same benefits, which is great. So we can actually go ahead and improve the Kingston Abbey trade route. There we go. Best. Nice. So we're literally upgrading 2 trade routes now at the same time. So I'm quite happy about that. The only thing is, let's host the fish. Yeah, we've got a lot of fish. I'm going to now have to add another structure over here. It's looking a little bit shabby, I must admit. It wasn't completely in line with the other structure, but now it's going to be. Here we go. Right, apply to all. Here we go. That's looking much better. It was looking a little bit strange. It was slightly higher than what it should be. But we're going to improve our treasury with another 300. I think a 360, that is. And we can add some more cypress trees. So it's this beautification that allowed these houses to upgrade. So I want to try and keep them in line with the ones that we've already got. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then lastly 5. There we go. So now we've got some beautifications for these houses. Yeah, there we go. They should be able now to upgrade also. So what we can do, we can maybe go ahead and upgrade some of the citizens. Promote. Gonna go too wild. But yeah, we can promote a few. Good promotion. Yeah, there we go. Just do it like that for now. What we can do is we can add the random trees in the middle. I think that just gives a little bit more life. All of these residential structures. Here we go. Okay. So there's a few of these houses that can upgrade if they need to upgrade. Here we go. Awesome stuff. Okay, so we've got our stained glass. I don't know if we need to have a specific slot for it. I don't know how it works. Where they store it, really. Is it going to be stored here? Or I'm not sure. Okay, I think they're going to just automatically bring it here to the church. Hoping. I just want to see that one fulfilled. Be so close. We've actually got 2 stained glass. That's strange. I don't know where it's stored. Okay, but we've got 2. Quite a surprise. Okay, so there we can see some of the houses are upgrading. And we've got a bakery in place, so we can do this. Now I'm not producing enough vegetables, so I'm gonna have to just add another vegetable garden over here. So let's see if we can do that. The building, vegetable garden, yeah, no. So we can add another one. Apply to all, there we go. And we can add another apiary. That we can also do. Let's see, so we are still lacking 7 stone. We've got a lot of polished stone that's still missing. But I suspect that's going to go a lot quicker once we fulfill the normal stone. And then we've pretty much got all the tools that we need. We've got 37 tools in storage. So that's going to complete the tools that we need. Just don't know. I've got 2 stained glass, so they're probably going to put that up right at the end. That would make sense though. So we're now in tier 5. Common path. Yeah. Aren't we 1, 2, 1, 2, 3? Yeah, we're supposed to be here now. I don't know why these are. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. I first need to unlock these ones. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so we've got level 2 trade with Davenport. Yeah, so the money is going to look a little bit better now going forward. Just prioritize. These buildings are taking forever to build. And there we go, we've got Kinstone Abbey that's also been improved now. The level 2 trade. That's really great. So I want to actually see, we should be able to upgrade Kinstone again. Butchery. I'm very tempted to increase the trade, but I'm not going to do that, not yet. Hmm. Oh yes, of course. Okay, so we need to actually trade a little bit before we can upgrade the route again. Okay, so I've got to just give it some time. So let's see, gonna add another vegetable garden. Yeah, perfect. Oh, the wandering monks are very happy. We got some gold coins from that and some extra clergy influence. Suppose we can unlock some of these things. Good like that. Might as well unlock everything. Seeing that we've got enough influence. So far, the fish fair is going well. We need the happiness to be over 75 and it's currently at 90. So that's pretty good. So a big part of my church has already been completed, and I can say this city is shaping up to be definitely one of my best looking cities. So yeah, but look how cool this looks. So obviously you can change the color of the roof. I just decided to go with the blue to kind of match the monastery. With that also being said, the monastery's roof you can also change. I just thought I'm gonna go with the blue. I kind of like the blue. And you can see that the church is operating. So we've got now a capacity of 75 currently that we can welcome into the church. So while the rest of the construction is going on, it is already functioning. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to remove this rustic church over here. And then we can fill the space with houses further, just to make it completely square with the rest of the city. So let's do that. I'm going to just say destroy, and then yeah, we can fill up this space and just make it pretty much the same as on the other side. But we kind of want to match it. There we go. Yeah, I think this is good. Obviously it's not completely square, but it looks good enough. You don't want to get it completely perfect. And then what we can do is I unlocked the city market. So I'm going to maybe look for a place to place this also. And I want to specifically build the market hall, the city square. So we can have one on this side. And let's see, I'm going to do a different color for the market. I think it's just to mix it up a little bit, make it look a bit more organic. But I think this is pretty much the size that I want to go with. So I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and place it over here. And we do need to add a few stalls, so let's just go ahead and maybe add 2 good stalls. And we're going to need one, I'm going to do 4 of the foods, so 2 rustic foods and then 2 refined foods we can have. And then let's maybe do 2 luxury ones. And then we do have to keep at least 1 open space here in the middle. But I think I'm going to just leave it like this. We can make the market hall just like this. And let's just say build or apply to all. I'm going to just say apply to all. And then we can also prioritize this. So this, I'm going to make this the top priority, because what I want to do is once this is built, I'm going to take down these market stalls, and I'm also going to build a market hall on this side. I think it's going to just look nicer than the tents. And that's just my opinion. But it's also obviously more practical, and it's going to be more effective having multiple shops on that same space. Well, that's just my opinion. And I did find the stained glass, so they store it here at the village center. So you can see there it says temporary storage. So there's the 2 stained glass. It's kind of odd that I've got the 2, but in any case, we are still lacking 100, a little bit more than 130 polished stones. but it is going a little bit quicker because we've got now, yeah, we've got 6 stonemasons assigned and they are all commoners, so they will definitely operate more effectively. We need to see to maybe add a tavern as well, and I'm going to do a basic structure for the tavern. Let's maybe look at adding it on this side. We've got a nice open space over here. It's kind of close to the monastery, but it's on the opposite side of the city wall, so I suppose it's okay. So let's do it like this. I'm going to place the public lounge over here, just like so. And we can raise it a little bit so that we can have a bigger capacity. Yeah, let's just do it like that. So we do need an entrance. We can make a nice entrance here. Just to also give us some of that extra labor splendor, and we need a visitor location. And I think that's pretty much it. We don't need anything else. And then we can add a sub building. So from here we do the service counter. So we can get 3 taverners in here, and then the last thing that we need is the actual brewery. So I'm going to let it clip a little bit just to keep space open for the city gate. So yeah, let's just do it like that. Now that looks pretty nice. We do need the chimney as well, so look at adding the chimney right over there. And see the weather vane. Oh, I think I want to place the weather vane rather on this side in the middle. And then we can also put up a signboard. Where are we going to? Oh yes, of course, we need this first. Right, so we can place a sign over here. We can do 2 signs. So one, we can place a flag, and then we can do the barrel sign, just to show the people that they can come and have a good time right over here. Okay, so I think we've got everything in place. I'm going to just say apply to all, and we can also listen fast forward. Once the church is fully complete, I want to focus on getting the fortified city walls, which is going to be very costly. So let's just double check that again. 510 normal stone, 408 polished stone. That's pretty wild. Now the upside is that we are going to get a refund on a lot of the tools that we are using for the church currently. So we're going to get back 60 something of the tools. So we're going to have more than half of the tools for the city walls. So that's not too bad actually. Okay, but let's just fast forward all of this. Get a whole bunch of these things done and built. We've got a decent amount of money, so I'm thinking I'm going to add more of these cypress trees. So I've already done the passage on this side and on that side. So let's just maybe do this side. Does take a lot of my money. So I'm going to just do it like this. 1, 2, keep them kind of like in line with each other. 1, 2. And then we just need one more. So you can see just with these few cypress trees that I placed, that cost me almost 500 gold coins. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Yeah. I want to maybe move this one slightly down. Do that quickly. That seems like it's more in line. Here we go. But yeah, all in all, it looks pretty good. Everything's coming together very nicely. Now, the only problem that I'm going to have is once these fortified walls go up, all of these houses are going to upgrade, and that's going to be a little bit of a dilemma. That's going to also take a lot of my resources. Let's just see. I want to actually look what places needs more workers. We've got 11 unemployed people. So we definitely need to assign more people. Yeah, so let's see. We're going to add a brewer over there. And we need all the different market tenders. So I suppose we can just assign them there. Transporter, forager. Okay, there we go. So we've actually used all of the workers that we've got currently available. And there's actually a few other jobs that's still open. So when we do get more villagers that comes into the town, we'll be able to find work for them. So here we go. So we've got the city market now up and running. And I want to just look for a different type of roof. We're going to do maybe like the red roof. Brown looks a little bit dull and the yellow is too bright. Maybe if we do like this black or kind of like an offish blue. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for this. It's a different color to the church, but it blends nicely, so I'm going to just go with that. Okay, so now that we've got this set up, thinking I must maybe just assign all the different resources. We still need another 2 workers assigned here, so let's just see. Berries, we can do berries, we can do fish, and we can do meat. Let's see, the bread, I'm gonna rather go for the bread. We are producing bread now. And then we can have clothing, and then we need one more other item. I want to see what the honey. Okay, so the honey is actually regarded as a luxury item, and the herbs also a luxury. We're probably gonna have to assign more herbalists. Okay, let's just leave that one space open. We can assign another two market tenders. I've actually placed all of these items now in the storage, which is fine. So I'm gonna just replicate this. So berries, fish, meat, bread, and then we can just do clothing. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go with this for now. We don't need luxury items. You only really need the luxury items for the citizens, so not gonna worry too much about that. Okay, so we've got wandering monks that we've got a host for. I'm gonna go for this one. We can get some extra extra clergy influence. I haven't done any prospecting for different type of minerals. So the closest place where we can get minerals from is right over here. But I don't think in this play I'm going to worry about the minerals. I'm generating enough money from all the other things. Between the herbs and the honey that I'm producing, we are definitely generating enough money. Well, let's see, this is coming along nicely. So we're still lacking more than 105 of the polished stones we still need. And I don't know why they're waiting with the stained glass. I suppose they first need to place the facade. But as it is now, it's really looking nice already, I must say. I'm very happy with the layout. I think this is a church layout that I will use maybe in the future also. Doesn't take up too much space, but it's got a massive capacity. I think it's 100 and something. Once all of these structures are done, we're going to have the ability to get maybe up to 100 and something people in the church, which is great. So the tavern is completed, so we can just assign let's maybe do 2 taverners. Yeah, I'm gonna just go for 2, and then we can complete our set here for the brewers. And then we need, want to see something. We need to still complete the public lounge. Okay, that's fine. Then we need to assign a resource here by the service counter, and obviously it's going to be berry brew. So this is something that many times in the past I forgot about actually assigning resource. I mean, you would just assume they are going to serve the berry brew, but you've got to actually select it. So we're going to choose the berry brew. I think 2 taverners for now is going to be okay. So there we go. So the tavern is running. That's going to just give a little bit of entertainment. We don't need much. On a later stage, I'm considering maybe placing a tavern on this side. But for now, we'll just stick with the one that we've got. And I want to now take down these market stalls. Okay, so let's just say destroy. 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 Oops. Destroy. Yeah. And I'm going to have to move the well slightly up. So we're going to move it to roundabout over here. Bye. Here we go. And I see that we can also change the roof color of the well. And I think we can actually make that red. Also just to give like a little bit of a different contrast. I'll change the color of the other wells on a later stage. We've got another one over there. Okay, let's change it to red. And then we've got another one. I'm not going to worry about that one by the monastery. Okay, so we can now set up another city market. I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's see. I want to make it the same height. Otherwise, it just looks odd if they're not the same height. There we go. And we're going to go for that color. The roof, and we can place it on this side. And I think what we can do is we can set it up pretty much the same as we did on the other side. It's not going to be completely in line as I've mentioned before, but it's going to look good either way. So we're going to need 4 of these food stalls. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to need the goods. 1, 2, and then we can have 2 luxury stalls. 1, 2, there we go. Apply to all, and we can also prioritize this one. I don't know if I want to prioritize it. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so let's just leave that. What I'm also thinking of doing is to actually import some polished stone. So buy until let's level this up to, they can keep on buying until we've got 20. We are earning some really good money, so I'm just thinking it would be a good idea to just buy the polished stone. We're not going to do it for a long time, but we're going to need that extra stone for these city walls. In fact, let's just push it a little bit higher. Even if I have to invoke like a levy or raise a levy, whatever you call it, if I have to do that, then that's also fine. It's just to get all of these structures done. I built myself a paver's yard here, and I'm not going to assign any workers as of yet, but I want to start laying out a paved road, and I think it's going to look really nice if we do the paved road like through these little stretches. What we can do before I lay down the pavement, I want to add a few extra decorations. So I did unlock the elegant decoration pack. So let's just see what would look nice. I want to add maybe a little fountain here by the actual church. I think that's going to look nice if we maybe just add it roundabout over here, and then we can do these big fountains. Yeah, so these ones I want to place in these open stretches. So we can maybe have one on this side, and we can have one on this side. I don't think I'm going to add anything else. Let's just place those down, and then we can have a couple of benches. Right, so because we Yeah, I think the people do need some place to sit down. So I'm looking for... these ones are the nicest. These are the elegant benches. They're super expensive. But yeah, let's go for it. We want to make the city look really nice. We can create a few, I think. Gotta rotate that one. I think if we do two here and two, yeah, that. Bring it around. Place it down just like that. Yeah, that looks nice. And then we can do, we've got the two on this side. Sorry dude, I'm gonna move your bench now. Go. And we can do the same for this one. I'll add a few extra on a later stage. Here we go. Okay, I don't think we're going to add anything else here except for the cypress trees. I still need to add that here. But then we can maybe do the paved road here at the top. I've used a lot of my coin. Don't know if I'm going to have enough here. 265. Let's see. 1, 3, 4. We actually did a trade now. So we've got a little bit of extra gold left. I did lose some money now because I bought all of that polished stone. That's just basically to help us complete the structure. So you can see that the church is done. Oh, they've already installed the stained glass as well. I didn't even notice that. Okay, so the church is actually done. I don't think there's anything left to do here. I can just change the color on this little door here at the back. Blue. And yeah, I think this is it. But look how nice that is with the stained glass that we've got here. Now, this is lovely, beautiful, very nice. Okay, I'm very happy with the structure. I'm glad I lowered this piece here. Just create like an extra dimension, and we can have up to 150 people. Our maximum capacity, it says here 2 to 5, but for some reason it says here it can only go up to 150 for a weekly capacity. Oh yes, this is why we need another priest. Here we go. So obviously we can't have 2 priests working back to back throughout the week within this massive church. So we've got now 3 priests for this specific church, but it looks really nice. We've got the cross here at the top also. Oh, there we go. Look how nice that is. I don't think I can change the color on that, but it goes with the structure. Very cool. Very cool indeed. And we've got these fountains done now. I'm going to just maybe add some extra vegetation in and around the church. I'm going to wait for my money to accumulate, obviously now also, before I do that. Here we did a very nice trade from Northbury. Here was bought 48 meat. That's nice. So let's just see. We can probably increase our trade with one of our neighboring partners. So Northbury we can upgrade, Trotbury we can upgrade. I'm gonna go, let's see how much bread. We've got a lot of bread, so let's increase the trade route with Northbury because we do a lot of trade with them. And then we can also improve the trade with Kinstone. Let's do that. Okay, so now we're going to really make some good money. Not that we haven't made good money, but it's going to be even better. I think for my manor and for the watchtowers, I'm going to keep the same roof. I think it really works just to do all these different contrasts. So we're gonna have to add another watch post. That's going to be here at the top, and then another one there. And we need a tower for another tax collector. So let's just see. Raise it to the same height. Little entrance. So we got a lot of those resources back, the tools specifically, from the church that's been built. Build this watch post. Yeah. And then we're going to need to add another tax collector tower. Area villagers. Okay, everybody is very happy. Got everything that they need. So tax office. Let's see. And then this one we can place kind of like in the middle. On this side, I think. Be a good spot for it. More or less over there. Just make sure that it's not in front of the city gate. Okay. And apply. There we go. What's happening here? We'll figure it out as trade. Nothing else will tell us. But we do have a lot of influence and we've got enough money. I think I'm going to just do this. Just let them tell me the mystery tax. And a copy of Davenport trading law. Cool. I don't know what it really does, but I think we're going to get some sort of trade benefits. Let's see. It doesn't say anything over here. Oh, okay. I think this is the new one. Merchandise taxes. Unlock merchandise taxes on markets. Okay. Now, I've never actually tried that one. Let's go ahead and add some extra greenery over here. So what we can do, we can probably add maybe like an arch over here. I think it would look nice. A rose pergola. Okay. I don't think that's gonna work. Take that away. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think I'm going to just do that. Add one in that corner and do the same here, I suppose. I don't know why this is looking like this. Why? I don't know why this wasn't completed. Anyways. Yeah, I'll still figure out what else I want to add here, but for now, it looks pretty cool. And just keep it like that. Not gonna worry about that quest now. So let's see, I think it's about time that I upgrade the fortified wall here on the outside. Man, it's gonna be so costly. We need to get a few patrollers over here. Let them start patrolling around this area. Okay, so it looks like 3 patrollers are enough. And we can add our tax collector now as well. There we go. And I'm going to let my point just accumulate a little bit, but we need to upgrade some more people to commoners. So let's see, promote bakers, brewers. Yeah, so I'm gonna go on a upgrade spree while I'm off screen. There's a lot of people that need to be upgraded. Commoners, trawlers, tailors. Yes, we need to upgrade the tailors and the taverners, and definitely the tax collectors. Okay, 2 promotions. Let's just let the money accumulate for a bit. I'm going to give it some time still before I upgrade these walls, and we can start doing like a paved road over here. I know it's not going to, it's purely going to be aesthetic, but I want to see how this is going to look once we've paved this. I think it's going to look really nice, in all honesty. But we can pave this whole section around the church. I'm going to do it like so. Here we go. The thing is, yeah, it doesn't actually help that I paved this section because they only paved the roads that's already been walked out. So it's not going to really give the feel that I want. But even if they just pave these little roads in between, I think it's going to look nice. As you can see, we've got plenty of houses that's upgrading now because I added a whole bunch of beautifications. I've also done a whole bunch of promotions to a lot of the villages to commoners. We had so many villages that still needed to be upgraded to commoners. So this is going to be nice. It's going to make the city even look more beautiful. You know, they've added a lot of details to these houses, as you can see. It's very small details, but it does make a big impact on the look, and it just makes the town feel so much more alive. Now, I'm thinking of starting to upgrade the city wall. It's going to take a hell of a long time, and I'm probably going to go off screen just to let all of this upgrade, but we're going to upgrade the city wall here on the outside, and I'm going to maybe add myself another sawmill because, as we can see, the planks are running low. That's with all the upgrades that we're doing with the houses. I've added another watchtower over here, so I've colored in the patrolling area, so let's just add a few patrollers. There we go. You can see the patrol efficiency, it's still low. So I'm probably going to end up adding more towers to just cover all the different territories, just to make it more efficient. But yeah, at the moment, everything's running smoothly. And you can see that we've got the paved road over here. It is actually looking nice. Even with just these little stretches that's changed into paved road, it does look nice. And I'm looking at maybe adding another paver's yard on this side. And then they can just start working on the roads on this side of the city market. And then maybe just going into the territories over here in between the houses. We can look at upgrading some people to citizens. And I've got a decent amount of money. I'm going to maybe also do this off screen, just promote a few of the people to citizens, so then we can at least get some of the houses to tier 3. But the general structure of the city is pretty much done. I'm not going to add much more than this that's currently here. As I've mentioned, I might add a tavern here at the bottom, but we've got everything that we need. You can see it's -1, well, they disappeared now, but it was only -1 on the rustic food. Otherwise, there's nothing else that we need. I just want to see with the taxes. Yeah, we can actually bring the taxes down a little bit to make the people even more happy. We are generating a decent amount of money. Let's see here. Oh yeah. You see now everything is looking really good at this stage. So I'm going to just keep it the way it is. And let's go ahead and upgrade the city wall. And I'm going to go off screen and just let all of these houses also upgrade. Apply. Here we go. I want to add a few more decorations here to the church. We are just 8 splendor short of getting to the next level. And if we do get to the next level, we can then unlock the tier 4 clergy privilege, and we can also get some extra decorations over here. It would have been nice actually to have that golden cross on the church. But we can always replace it on later stage, and then we also unlock Monistic winemaking. So let's just see here. If we select the church, let's see what decorations we can add. I suppose if we add maybe some lanterns here, that would make sense. Having the lanterns here by the gates maybe. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one over here like so. And let's just add a few more. Want to place one on this side, and then also just another one by the gate at the back. There we go. Right, so we've got still 5 to go. Let's see what else we can add. I suppose some of these hedges will look nice. We can maybe do them here at the back. Oh, here's another gate. Suppose we can add another lamppost over here. There we go, that's gonna look nice. And then I think we should just maybe do these hedges. We need another 4, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do it like that. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. And I think that will, for now, conclude the decorations that I want to add for the church. I'm not going to do that deal. And let's just unlock that. And we can... Oh, we'll have to wait for the other stuff. We'll have to let the influence just build up again. And let's see what we can add here. Good neighbor. No, I'm not going to do that one. Unlocks tithe taxes on church. I don't think I've got an issue with money. Monistic food needs satisfaction. It lasts 25% longer. We've got plenty of food here actually. Let's see. Yeah, oh, we've got so much of the food. Okay, so maybe I should do the taxing, the tithe taxing. So I'm gonna do that. And here we go. We can activate the tax for the church. Refined food short. Okay. So I am busy actually adding some more wheat farms over here. So let's see, we can assign 6 workers. And I'm gonna just color this stretch in here. I don't know how much space we need for this. Ah, there we go. Okay, so with the 2 wheat farms that we've got going, I think that's going to be enough for this 1 windmill. And hopefully we're going to produce enough bread now. But you can see that the city is shaping up really, really nicely. It's looking beautiful with all the common houses that we've got, or the tier 2 houses rather. And you can see the city wall is, I would say it's about halfway done by the looks of it. And we've got some tier 3 houses that's being built here. I've got this one, just this one actually. So we've got 1 tier 3 house that's being built, which is great. We'll probably see some more of them develop as we carry on. I did build another paver's yard. I don't really want to assign anybody yet because we do need that stone here for the walls. We still require almost another 200 stone, and for the polished stone it's another 120. So let's just see. We've got a lot of polished stone. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead with it. Let's just start doing the pavements on this side. Why not? Going to just let them start paving this area over here. They can just pave the stretch here by the church as well. Let's just do it like this. So the central part of the town can then be paved. My fortified walls are done, and as you can see, literally every house is being upgraded. It's a little bit chaotic. As soon as this wall was done, the computer actually froze for like a second or two, just because all of these houses upgraded at the same time. But I'm gonna let this run off screen a little bit. I am lacking a few things now because we had quite a few people that moved into the town. You can see that we're currently now on 241 population. So I need refined food and I need rustic food. So we're lacking on both of those two. And so I'm gonna just boost that systematically. I did get myself another gathering hut for the berries, and I should probably add some more fishing huts, maybe one more. And then I think I should be sorted for the fish as well. And then, okay, we do have the extra wheat, so we are producing a little bit more bread. So I think I should just give it time. So you can see that they are starting to collect the wheat over here. And yeah, I think let's just give that one time. I think that will accumulate over time. And we do have plenty of milk. I could add another cheese maker over here. So I'm gonna just do that. And then I should maybe actually allow one of these city markets to supply cheese. So let's maybe do this. I'm gonna change this one up and let's assign a resource. Oopsie, sorry. I meant to assign the cheese over here, but it's good that we've got it in the storage as well. Okay, so let's see if this works. If I've got the cheese on the one side and the bread on the other side. It's already looking like it's improving a little bit. The goods, I'm not going to worry too much about that. We've got a decent amount of clothing. But yeah, let's just let this run. The majority of the houses have been upgraded. There's maybe 2 or 3 of the houses that still needs to be upgraded to tier 3. But this is pretty much my completed city. I'm standing in just over a little bit more than 250 population. And I must say, I think this is one of my best looking cities that I've made. Having the modest church in the middle, it really does create a good looking monument if you want to use that as a city center. And it is also practical. You can fit a lot of people into this church. So in regards to the service that you need to provide for the town, you're going to have plenty of space having a size of church like this one that I've got. And I think you can easily cater for maybe up to 300, but then you might need to scale up the church even a little bit further. But all in all, I think it was quite a success and it was quite close to the vision that I had for the town. Now, if you did enjoy this playthrough, please do remember to subscribe and also press the bell notification button if you haven't done so yet. And then I'm going to see you in the next one.